Do not worry.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm your host, Anthony, coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09. Coming to you solo, the surprise 11 p.m. Saturday night stream. The stream was not supposed to take place. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing a good time. I figured I was kind of bored, folks, feeling a little down. So let's just do a chill little live stream. Got a couple things to talk about. There's been a Piers Morgan episode I've been meaning to watch for like a couple days. And I think this is the last day that I can react to it, with it still being relatively relevant. Hello, Strawberry. Hello, Jess. Polito. Hello, Raimi Winter. Hello, Claudia. How's everybody doing? Welcome one, welcome all. Before we get into today's topic, we have a couple of Lebanon updates as well. There's a unfortunate new IDF victim. A couple of them. One dead, one very bizarrely injured. We're going to look at both of them before we get into our updates and then jumping into the Piers Morgan episode. This might be a shorter stream, maybe just a couple hours long. Sophia loves monkeys. Hello. Have there been any strikes today? There are strikes every day. None that I could hear today. Claudia, I've been doing okay. I'm trying to, just maintain a positive attitude throughout this this whole period. Before we get going, folks, let me just remind you guys that if you guys want to support the channel, you can do so by becoming a member of the channel. We have a members goal of 800 members by the end of the month. We're currently at like 661 members, which is insane. Thank you guys so much. We love you. The show needs its members and patrons to be able to, keep the lights on, pay the crew, all of that sort of thing. So all those sorts of things. So if you guys want to support the channel, we very much appreciate you. Let me take a second to thank some of our lovely members. And remember, members get exclusive live streams. Members are going to get a live stream on Monday or Tuesday. We're going to have a fun, chill live stream. And I'm also trying to do, if I go watch Project Hail Mary, I'm going to try to do like a quick vlog for the patrons, like a quick little review or something fun like that. Let me thank some of our YouTube members, whether you've been gifted a membership, whether you've been a member for 6 months, like 3F. Thank you so much, 3F, for being a member for 6 months, or a member for 2 days, like Water9043. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Also, Bubba Trouble, 3 Danta, 256, Mr. the Crab, Armin5212, Skater Woo, Acid Based, Violet9475, Jamila Rabadi 7500, Jessica Rock, Irene Bertoni. Thank you guys so much. Sailor Katracha. Also, Ismael Lilaj 96688, Popcorn is Fluffy. Ooh, Popcorn is Fluffy. Gino Ride as well. Be Stoic for you. Tony the Girl, Libiology, Bad Pierogi, and Mike M. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We appreciate all of our members. We got GF the Dead in here as well. Claudia, Jess Polita, Raimi Winter, all members here. Jay of the Dead, did you watch it in IMAX or in a regular screening? Claudia, thank you so much. We very much appreciate you. What kind of screening did you watch, Jay? I was supposed to watch it in IMAX. I'm not going to get into it again. I have 2 segments dedicated to that on 2 previous live streams. Members, we love and appreciate you. Also, patrons. Patrons get exclusive content on there as well, courtesy of myself and Nour and Karine. Let me thank some of our brand new superhero patrons. We got 3 just in the last few days. Ezekiel B, Fadi Mac, and BB. Thank you so much to Ezekiel B, Fadi Mac, and BB. We love and appreciate you guys. That's so generous of you guys. Thank you for the support. Very kind of y'all. Let me just check one quick thing. Okay, yeah. Everything is right. Let me take a second to thank some of our other members. Ilian Mujabir, our God tier patron. Jordan M, Khaldan Ahmad, Joey Dabul, Enri Adi, our superhero patrons. Blonde patrons like Bambinos or Daniel Nekhle, Dana Ahmad, Myri C, Mazra Life, and abductee patrons like Mother's Milk, Jessica Hyde, Monica, Caitlin Kegla, Kara, Jennifer Sage, and Ida. Thank you so much to all of our lovely members and patrons. We appreciate you, but you guys don't have to be a member or a patron or send a super chat to support the channel. It is more than enough to AMC. Jess is asking, should I reactivate my AMC A-list? Of course, you should always reactivate your AMC A-list. It's such a good deal. You pay like 25, 27 bucks a month and you get to watch like 18 movies a month. Why not? As I was saying, you don't have to become a member or a patron to support the channel, folks. Simply like the video, subscribe to the channel, hop into the live chat. You have to subscribe to the channel to do that. Leave a comment if you're watching the replay. Join our Discord. Join the community. We love and appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, we got a couple of little chill, lighthearted updates just to talk about. And then we're going to jump into some war updates, as you know. And then we're going to watch some Piers Morgan together. JF the Dead says, just regular screen, but fancy theater with reclining heated seats. Did you feel like you were missing like 15% of the actual movie? You know, did you feel like you were missing out? We know we got Chris, our very own Chris, is currently at the movies, I think, watching it in a regular theater. He sent me a photo being like, I'm watching it in a regular screening like a peasant. I am awaiting his review. Chris would have also wanted to see it in IMAX, but it's a long story. I don't want to talk about IMAX anymore, guys. And Project Hail Mary. Breaks my heart. Okay. I've talked about this before. Mourned the possibility of this happening. As you guys know, they're making a Hunt for Gollum movie. Possibly more than one movie. I think it's a pointless movie. I think they need to stop making movies that are directly tied to like the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings films. Or like if you're going to make one, make like a sequel with new actors or something. Don't replace actors. So, it is apparently confirmed that they have confirmed that, of course, what's her name? Goddamn. Viggo Mortensen is not returning to play Aragorn. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that Leo Woodall is coming, but like, word is, like, rumors are swirling, like, that's it. It seems like it's almost kind of official. When we talked about this guy, I did like a whole 1-hour segment complaining that this guy shouldn't be Aragorn. He's too young to play Aragorn. Viggo Mortensen was like 43 when he was cast to play Aragorn. He's got all this like gravitas, you know what I mean? He's like this, I don't know, man. This guy is just not it. You know what I'm saying? Like these are big shoes to fill. So it is apparently becoming kind of confirmed. You know, Leo Woodall will reportedly play Aragorn in The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. There's a source for this. Let's see. What is the source?
The last actor you were mistaken for?
What? Elijah Wood said it? That's crazy. And yes, Jeff the Dead, I agree. This guy looks more like... A lot of people have been pointing out that he looks so much like Sam. He looks like Samwise Gamgee. Like, this is not the man to play Aragorn. Like, I'm sorry. You know, people have been pointing out that they should cast the actor who's been playing Sauron in the Amazon series. What's his name? Charlie Vickers. Like, I mean, this guy looks more like... I mean, honestly, even he's a bad choice. Would have been a better choice, but like, you know. Better choice, definitely, but still not the right choice. Still not the right choice. No, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I agree. It's a pointless trilogy. It's going to be horrible. I mean, look, at least they're not going to be like digitally de-aging Viggo Mortensen, which I also don't want to see. But just recasting him, like, I don't know. He's such an iconic character. Okay, and the fact that they're not like, if it's one thing if you're recasting like everyone, you know what I mean? It's not, you don't have Elijah Wood coming back as Frodo. You don't have Ian McKellen coming back as Gandalf. But the fact that everyone's the same, but it's just Viggo Mortensen who's not there, don't make it. It's not important enough of a story to fuck it up like this. I don't know. I don't want to see it. They're making it. I mean, I'll watch it, of course, just out of curiosity, morbid curiosity, because I think it's going to go horribly. But the fact that that the rumors are heating up, and like, I wish we had heard the opposite. Like, you know what? Those are just baseless rumors. He's never going to be Aragorn. No, the fact that it's heating up and they're still talking about this, and potentially Elijah Wood confirmed it, like, fuck no, man. Insane. Insanely bad choice. Guy must look great in a wig or something. I don't know what he did. But anyways. Ooh, clavicular. Got a seizure. On stream. Look at that.
Go.
Trigger warning.
To the sides of the neck. Ready?
Yep. Wait, maybe lift up your arms so we know when you're out gone.
Oh yeah, lift up your arms. Lift up
Hold your arm up.
Oh, he's tapping. He's tapping. Don't do it. Do it.
Let me know.
Yeah, I think he's gone.
He's gone?
I think he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Let go. You're good. You're good.
Wait.
Don't let him choke. Don't let him choke. Don't let him choke. Don't let him choke. Let him choke. Turn him over. You're good. You're good. You're good. It's okay. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
He's good. He's good.
Okay. I'm here. I'm here. Turn him to the side.
Dude is straight up having a seizure on stream. So this is the thing that like all these alpha bros do for some reason. Like they'll hang out with, like UFC fighters and shit. Like, all right, bro, choke me out, bro. And they'll do it for the memes. They'll do it for the clip. They'll do it for the views. When I first saw him seizing, I thought he was acting, because this is the weirdest seizure I've ever seen in my life. Like the way he's doing it, like we're like this. He looked like he was acting, honestly. Like I've seen people have all sorts of weird seizures, like in boxing and stuff, when they get knocked out. You'll get knocked out and like your arm will be like this, or like people will do really, like you can't control your reflexes at that point. But this is just like so fucking disturbing, man. Like people, like this guy wasn't he arrested for like shooting an alligator in Florida? What's happening? Why is he still online? Yeah, not a seizure. Like I don't know why I'm calling it a seizure. Dizzle McFizzle, sent a member's message and says, look up Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse. That's my Aragorn. No, Robert Pattinson could also not be Aragorn. I know what you're talking about. With that mustache and shit, hell no. Too distracting. He's got too much of a very strong, like, jawline. Robert Pattinson's face at this point is too recognizable. Anyways, this clavicular shit is so fucking stupid. Oh my god, man. He also ran over a man. I don't know, man. I don't know why this guy's still streaming. Anyways, just kind of sad. I'm so tired. Like, honestly, I hope this is the last time we ever talk about clavicular. But yeah, so someone called it... so Potato Whiskey says it's a fencing response. Arms raising involuntarily. That's brain damage. There's no safe way to choke. People being choked always damages your brain, even if the damage is minor. Exactly. You're cutting off oxygen to your brain. It can't be fucking good. Again, when people will be knocked out in boxing or stuff, sometimes like they'll be knocked out with their arm still up in the air like this. I don't know why I keep doing this, and it's making it look like I'm doing some kind of fucking salute. Oh my god, it's the second time I do it. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like they'll go down with like their arm still up like this or something. And god damn, bro. Okay. Changing topics. I don't know if I want to talk about this anymore. Dumbledore actor John Lithgow says much of he can't stop putting his foot in his mouth. I think he needs to make it a rule to like not talk about this anymore. Just tell his publicist to tell all reporters not to ask him about J.K. Rowling anymore or her trans comments. Like that's it. He can't stop making it worse. So Dumbledore actor John Lithgow says much of J.K. Rowling's imputed prejudice has been twisted and misinterpreted, but I do disagree with much of it. The whole subject of Rowling's imputed prejudice, it came up after everything was already underway. I'd already said yes. I was urged to walk away. The whole subject. What do you mean? After you said, dude, J.K. Rowling's been a transphobe for like years now. What do you mean? It came up after everything was already underway. I'd already said yes. No, you've had years to know what she's up to. She didn't suddenly become a transphobe the week after you said yes to becoming Dumbledore, my guy. What are you doing? I was urged to walk away, and I was not about to do that. The reasons to do it were much, much stronger than the reasons to protest against what Rowling has done and said. I do disagree with much of it. Much of it, I think, has been twisted and misinterpreted, and she has doubled down on it at her own cost. I have not met her. The other positive on the Harry Potter project is the people who have taken it on themselves. Francesca Gardner and Mark Mylod have had extraordinary partnership. Francesca, she persuaded me. She's the big reason I took it on. I don't know, man. You haven't even met the lady. You know? Haley D, hello. Who else just jumped in here? Soul Life, hello. So the guy disagrees with what J.K. Rowling has said, but he also thinks much of it has been misinterpreted. He doesn't regret being on the project, but he said yes, you know, but presumably he claims before she got into you know, controversy. And I love that they throw in there just for good measure. I haven't even met the lady. Well, this is kind of different. I mean, on the Harry Potter movies originally, I remember like, because I remember watching the behind the scenes for those movies. Like J.K. Rowling was, I think, on set a lot. She was very involved in the making of those movies. Definitely, I have no idea what her level of involvement is with this. And I don't know, the new leadership at HBO, and now that they're acquired by Paramount, they're going to be more than happy to parade her around and to make her the face of Harry Potter again, because they have no problem with anti-trans stuff. The fact that they haven't even that she hasn't met the Dumbledore actor is kind of it does show me that they're still kind of like trying to distance themselves relatively from J.K. Rowling, but they still had her name plastered all over the thing, like from, you know, the writer, legendary writer J.K. Rowling, etc., etc. Mango Mochi Bix, hello. Crotchy, hello. Anyways, I kind of like it anytime this guy talks about it. You know, he's so stressed. I feel like every time they mention her name, his palms start sweating. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, shit. Oh, not again. What am I supposed to say this time? Oh, fuck. I just did it for my grandchildren. But it's just... Chris Carney says, what a fence-shitting piece of shit. If you don't like my vague morals, well, I have more. Like, the thing about him is that he has such a great legacy as an actor. Like, he didn't need this. You know what I mean? Dumbledore has already been portrayed by two amazing, legendary actors, Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. So, you're the third guy playing Dumbledore, and you're the guy playing it on the HBO series. He's had, like, you know, like, John Lithgow's been in so many, like, legendary TV shows and some really good movies. You know what I mean? I can't name a lot of them. But, like, he was on Third Rock from the Sun. That's what I always remember him from. The guy from Third Rock from the Sun. So, it's just, like, he doesn't need the paycheck. Like, he genuinely doesn't need any of this. So... I don't know, but people would have gone after any actor, like any actor, except for the kids. The kids are in this, you know, you can maybe judge their parents, but like their parents are blind. Oh, our children are going to be famous. They're going to pay for a new house and stuff. So the kids, their parents are just you know what I mean? They're not going to care. But like all these adult actors, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. It's annoying. Progresso soup commercials, really? He was in Dexter as well? I've never seen Dexter, to be honest with you. He does feel out of place, and honestly, he's American. Like, he's the first... Isn't he the first American actor to portray Dumbledore? Like, to me, this is supposed to be, like, a British actor. Like, now I'm going to imagine... Like, I'm always going to imagine this is the dude from Third Rock from the Sun doing a British accent. Like, oh, hello, Harry. How are you? Have you met my phoenix called Fawkes? I forgot what the fuck is that. Was it Fawkes? This is the sword of Gryffindor. Like, come on, man. Like, you're just doing an accent. At least with the other dudes, they were already British. And they were already old. Like, they're not acting much. They just put a pointy hat on, a wizard's hat, and give him a wand. And they did the thing. You know? I feel like is my lighting too yellow? I think it is. One sec. I think this is a little better. It was looking a little yellow. Yeah, the whole season of Dexter. I've never seen it. But yeah, like, it's just weird. Just get British actors. The Harry Potter franchise should kind of be seen as the James Bond franchise. Actors have to be British to play James Bond. I feel like you have to be British to be involved in... Again, not that I'm going to watch this, okay? So, but anyways... This guy just can't keep making it worse for himself. Just stop talking about it. This is funny. Jonathan Majors, disgraced Hollywood actor Jonathan Majors, who was accused of, like, domestic abuse and violence and stuff like that, has recently been cast in a Daily Wire film. Well, while filming the movie, he fell out a window, basically. I don't know how else to say it. Literally fell out a window. When Deadline reached out for a comment about the unsafe conditions on the set, producers said they don't negotiate with communists.
Good. Okay, guys. Be careful of the glass, guys.
Eh?
And camera set. Here we go, guys. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, action! No! Oh. Guys, let it come back. Let it come back.
That's crazy, dude. Jeff that says people still support him and it infuriates me. Doesn't Michael B. Jordan, I think recently like publicly supported him. Was like, yeah, he's my boy, he's my dude, like he'll be fine, like something like that. I don't know. Look, and I don't know the details of the case. Like I don't know what happened and if he got acquitted or like what ended up happening, if he got cleared of some charges. But like whatever it is, it sounded pretty like scary. And he a lot of people that like worked with him on set have also complained about him a little bit and have said that like he was kind of a, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? But like if anything is going to make me feel bad for him is watching him on a Daily Wire set. You know what I mean? Like, this is, I feel, the greatest indignation. Like, this is the biggest punishment of all. Him and, like, Gina Carano having to make movies with Ben Shapiro. I think that's the biggest punishment, greater than any time in prison, greater than any community service, greater than any therapy. Your sentence, sir. You must make movies for the Daily Wire. I sentence you to work with Ben Shapiro on movies produced by Daily. I swear to God, like that is, I think, the greatest punishment, the biggest embarrassment. Like, you know what? You're just gonna go make fucking movies on the Daily Wire, man, and you're gonna fall out of windows while doing stunts. Fartrain says he got convicted. Wait, is that what Ben Shapiro says?
Guys.
Oh my God, I did hear that. There it is, fuck.
Guys, let it come back.
He does say, is he dead? Oh my God. Is he dead? I don't know. Honestly, I think once he's done filming this movie, I think Jonathan Majors may have paid his debt to society. I'm joking. Of course, I'm kidding. But just a fun little aside. Anyways, moving on from the fun stuff. Was that stuff fun? Was that a fun little segment, guys? I'm sorry, I'm getting back into it. Had a rough day. It's been a rough month, folks. How long has this war been going? It's just been rough. And speaking of war, Rida Fakhri was a TV presenter, was having a conversation with U.S. Congressman Marlon Stutzman, one of the most hawkish pro-Israel voices in Congress. Talking about Iran. Let's see what he had to say.
Iran doesn't want peace. Iran wants to kill every Israeli. They want to clear out Israel from the river to the sea. They want to have death to Israel, death to America.
What does Israel want,
Nobody else
Congressman?
chants that.
What
Nobody
does,
else, they want,
what does Israel want?
They want peace. They want peace.
Israel wants peace. Why is it
Yes.
attacking every one of its neighbors?
Where are the rockets coming from? The rockets are coming from the Houthis. There's been attacks from Hezbollah. There was an attack from Hamas. Hamas attacked Israel October 7th, 2023. I don't know what else to say.
I don't know what to say to you because there's a long history of occupation, Congressman, of militarism, of expansionism
I mean,
from Israel. And you well know that unless you choose to ignore
well,
it.
they are a growing nation for sure. But you know what? The United States is
they're
a
an
growing
expansionist nation.
They're a growing, that's one way to look. Well, they're a growing nation, of course. It's not like a child that's growing naturally. Well, he's growing. He's just a little nation. Of course, he's about to, take over more territory. It's only natural. More vitamins, more land. Well, it's a growing nation. What else do you expect, lady? It's hungry.
Nation. Is that okay in today's world?
They're not an expansionist nation. The United States is a growing nation.
They're an expansionist from Israel, and you well know that unless you choose to ignore it.
Well, they are a growing nation for sure. But you know what? The United States is a growing nation.
They're an expansionist nation. Is that okay in today's world?
They're not an expansionist nation. They look at how much land does Israel have
parts
compared
of Gaza.
to Syria? How much land do
the
they
south
have
of Lebanon.
compared to Saudi Arabia? Look how much land Israel has.
Israel shouldn't have any of that land, bro. Look at how much we have compared to this other country. Shouldn't we deserve to have a little more? That's not how it works. You don't compare your country to another country like, look, they have more. Can't we have more too? What the fuck does that mean? And I love the rebranding of, expansionary country to growing. It's just a growing nation. What can we do? We're a little hungry.
Is a smaller country than the state of New Jersey here in the United States. They have a small sliver of land. They have been so great.
More than you stole that liver. You shouldn't have any of it. Gracious
in giving the West Bank area and the Gaza Strip to the Palestinians and to the Arabs. And what do the
They've been so
Palestinians and the
gracious.
Arabs do? Yes, because at one point they could have taken the Gaza Strip. They had that area. So historically, they have, you know, even going back to the Bible times in the Old Testament, they have
the Bible, of course, the Bible makes an appearance. Take a shot, everyone. Bible mention.
lived in the area of Judea and Samaria. That's where most of the history
the Bible
of the
is
Israelis
not
comes
international law, as you know.
I didn't say it was, but it is historical context.
But shouldn't
You talk about the
international law
history
be what is
of
applied today?
Israel.
Beautiful. Seems like it would be a fun interview to watch, like the whole thing. Okay. Should I save? 1 second. I'm going to save this guy for a little bit later. Sorry for that jump scare, guys. Sorry for that hideous jump scare. We'll save that for one of the segments a little bit later. Okay. Panic in Tel Aviv. On Fox News Live, folks. Live footage shows highways completely paralyzed as Iranian missiles strike. Drivers are forced to abandon their vehicles and desperately hide under bridges. Iran has completely disrupted the Zionist entity.
Bridges to find whatever cover they can. But for the moment, Kaylee, it appears that all we've heard so far are high-level.
Yeah, Soul Life says I like her aggression. Yeah,
and
shout out to Rida, a great reporter, pressing, you know, her subject.
on the main roadway here, and as you look down on the main roadway there, you can see the hazard lights of vehicles that have pulled over during this alert. That is something we see pretty much every time. Obviously, everybody is told to go to the shelters the minute they hear those sirens. A lot of people who are, if they're in their vehicles, just pull over under those bridges to find whatever cover they can. But for the moment, Kaylee, it appears that all we've heard so far are high-level interceptions. Another one I just heard just off to our left again. Then we'll keep you posted. No sign, from our point of view at least, at this point of any impacts here. And as you look down on the...
I mean, yeah, it's got, like, you know, very disruptive to their lifestyle. But hey, I guess that's what they like. That's what they want. They enjoy it. Horrific. Iranian ballistic missile striking the central Israeli city of Petah Tikva as families meant to be celebrating Passover, one of the holiest periods of the Jewish year. World response, deafening silence. Damn. Yeah, I mean, horrific moment. I wonder why the world is being silent. You know, why would you expect the world to care about this when, you know, we watched you commit a genocide over the last 3 years? What can we even say at this point? What can we even say? You fucking hypocrites. You fucking piece of shit. Oh, the world is silent. We also talked about how last week Israel passed a new law where now Palestinian prisoners can be killed, literally can be killed for the same crime that an Israeli has committed, but because they're not Jewish, they're going to get the death penalty. And they've become the only country since Nazi Germany to pass the death penalty based on race. Based on the person's ethnicity, you'll get the death penalty. Israel is the first country since Nazi Germany to pass that law. Congratulations, Israel. Congratulations, Zionists. Hope you're proud of that one. Well, Eilon Levy is trying to, you know, justify it on Twitter. Sky News says 8 Muslim majority countries strongly condemn Israel's new death penalty law. And he says 7 of them have the death penalty. Irony is dead and they hanged it. Yeah, Eilon Levy, a lot of countries do have the death penalty, and a lot of Arab countries do have the death penalty, but they have it for everyone at least. They'll kill fellow Arabs. It's not just the death penalty for the whites, or death penalty for black people, or death penalty for brown people. It's death penalty for all. As it should be. If you're going to have the death penalty, you know what I mean? It should be, you should kill everyone. Lethal injections for all. You know what I'm saying? Not just lethal injections for the Arabs, for the Palestinians. You know, that's kind of fucked up, don't you think? Great defense. Great defense. 7 of them have the death penalty. Irony is dead and they hanged it. Lol, lol, lol. Also, I guess we're moving into Lebanon. I'm just doing a lot of Eilon Levy. So, here is also what Israelis, I guess that I mean, Eilon Levy's a fucking idiot and propagandist, but this is kind of like, I tried to see what he says, because this is what he kind of represents what a lot of the public sentiment believes, or like his messaging is what they want to get out there to the Israeli population. So let's see what they're kind of thinking about Lebanon. What are their talking points? Israel has reached two important strategic conclusions, and anyone who wants to engage seriously with the Lebanon crisis needs to engage with this reality. 1. Only Lebanon can disarm Hezbollah. UNIFIL has been worse than useless, allowing Hezbollah to rearm in plain sight of its peacekeepers. The IDF can't send its men to dismantle such a large militia. Oh, I'm glad you're recognizing that the IDF can't fucking do anything about Hezbollah. That leaves Lebanon, which has proven unable and unwilling to dismantle Iran's proxy army on its soil, or to stop it launching armed attacks on Israeli civilians. In the 26 years since Israel's withdrawal from southern Lebanon, the Lebanese state let Hezbollah fester. It didn't dismantle it after Resolution 1701 in 2006, allowing Hezbollah to build an invasion force and join Hamas's war on October 8, 2023. It didn't do it after Israel decapitated Hezbollah and signed the November 2024 ceasefire. Israel must therefore do two things. A. Give the Lebanese state no choice, make it both urgent and necessary to pick a fight with Hezbollah. And B. Soften up the target. So that's what they're trying to do. Give the Lebanese state no choice, make it both urgent and necessary to pick a fight with Hezbollah, and B. Soften up the target. By seizing a deep buffer zone, Israel is creating leverage to force Lebanon to stop armed attacks on Israeli families from its soil. So by taking our land, by seizing a deep buffer zone, Israel is creating leverage to force Lebanon to stop armed attacks on Israeli families from its soil. Want your land back? No problem. If we have guarantees it won't be used to wage jihad against us. Want back the land you won't control anyway because Hezbollah will take it over? Forget about it. When they say want land you won't control anyway because Hezbollah will take it over, it's Lebanese land. There's literally Christian villages there. There's all sorts of people that live in the south. Okay, yes, majority Shia. Sure, it's not Hezbollah-controlled land. It is Lebanese land. It is Lebanese land. I can go fucking camp out there if I wanted to. The way they're fucking saying it, you know what I mean? We want the land back. You won't control anyway. Forget about it. It's like they're talking to like children. You want the cookie? You're not gonna get the cookie back. You're not gonna get your toy back unless you play nice with your sister. Like you can't just fucking take our land and be like, you want it back? Well, you can't get it back unless you do this. Fuck off, motherfuckers. Fuck off. World leaders need to confront the reasons the Lebanese state has allowed Hezbollah to fire rockets and drones at Israeli families and work with Israel to pressure Beirut to do something it is desperate to avoid. Lebanon can have its land back when it wants to create a peaceful border. How can we have How can we have a peaceful border when you break when you violate the ceasefire 15,000 times in the period of 1 year? Israelis in the north cannot live in peace as long as Hezbollah is in southern Lebanon. There is therefore a zero-sum game. Either northern Israel evacuated or southern Lebanon will be. You forced us into this. So we're not evacuating our people. You're evacuating yours. We're not shutting down our economy. You shut down yours. And your economy seems pretty shut down from all the rockets that are being fired from Iran. Thank you, Iran, for that, by the way. You know, your economy seems pretty shut down. Your people seem pretty tired and wary of war. But you see how they're playing it? We're not going to move our people. You're going to move your people. We're not giving up our land. You're giving up your land. We're not going to do this. You're going to do this. It's so fucked up the way they do it. What up, Zaytun? What up, Miles Murphy? So, pretty fucked up. Ooh, did we get a new subscriber? Seems like it. I don't get the subscriber notifications here. Oh, yeah. Sakar Z just subscribed. Welcome, Sakar. Shakar. We're not shutting down your ship. As it is, the Israelis on the border have only 30 seconds to seek shelter because the IDF has pushed deep enough into Lebanon to give warning time. Israel must therefore maintain a sterile buffer zone because the alternative is to turn our territory into a sterile buffer zone. And we will not reward Hezbollah aggression. It's nasty. I wish this could have been avoided. I dream of a day we have peace with Lebanon and can hop to Beirut for the weekend. Yeah, fuck off in your fucking dreams, buddy. None of that will happen while Hezbollah remains steady. None of that will happen while you're genocidal pieces of Zionist shits. None of that is going to happen while you are a Jewish supremacists and your whole country is based on the supremacy of one religion. You're not welcome here, bro. No one wants you in Lebanon except for a few fucking insane right-wing extremists fucking weirdos, you're not welcome here. No one wants you here. Okay? DG or Hui with 1 gifted membership. Let's go, folks. We got 1 brand new member. W's in the chat for DG. Thank you so much for the generous gifted. Thank you for the gifted. And they always do this. I would love to come to Lebanon and hop on a plane and enjoy a vacation. No, you wouldn't. No one wants you here, bro. No one wants you here. Lebanon must dismantle it and nobody should make excuses for its failure. And this was a quote tweet to this tweet. Israel army will not attempt to disarm Hezbollah. Officials admit as war's goals are now focused on creating a deep buffer zone at Lebanon. Of course that's the goal, just a buffer zone. And by the way, I think here's the reason why they don't want to disarm Hezbollah as well. Because if you don't disarm Hezbollah, so let's say let's just open up Israel buffer zone Lebanon. This is going to be my shitty attempt at geopolitics. Let me know what you think. So right now, let's see. This was 2 days ago. Haley D just gifted 10 Do Not Worry memberships. Holy shit, let's go. We got 11 new members. Haley D and DG coming in with that assist. Thank you so much, Haley. That's so generous. That's so kind. Thank you so much. So look, they're now saying that this might be the buffer zone, that they evacuated this whole area right here, south of the Litani and even north of the Litani. But I think what they're saying now is that this is going to be the buffer zone, okay? So here's what I think. They don't want to disarm Hezbollah. Why do they not want to disarm Hezbollah? Because it gives them an excuse to keep taking more land, okay? So let's say they're right here right now. They're in the red area. That's their buffer zone, okay? What's Hezbollah going to be doing this whole time? Hezbollah is going to be fighting to try to free up this land. Are they not? Hezbollah is going to be attacking the IDF and fighting the IDF to take back this land. So what's Israel going to be doing? They're going to say, well, since we're still fighting with Hezbollah, we now need to increase and expand our buffer zone to keep fighting Hezbollah. Because now they're going to think that, because now they're going to install like 1 or 2 little military base. They're going to build a little hut. They're going to build a little kibbutz in the occupied territory. And as Hezbollah is trying to reclaim our land and defend themselves and take back our land from the thieves, the Israeli thieves, okay? Israel's going to be like, well, look, they're attacking our occupied land. They're attacking our bases. They're attacking our new kibbutz. We now need to expand the buffer zone and continue to attack Hezbollah from our advanced position. So they're going to always be like, we need to push Hezbollah back. 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 So as they push Hezbollah back, they're taking more land, more land, more land, more land. So do they want to disarm Hezbollah? No, because if they disarm Hezbollah, they've solved the problem. They don't want to solve the problem. Why? Because they want to take land. They just want to take land. So that's my opinion. That's my analysis of the situation. Now they're happy to take this. They claim this little land. They occupy this little part. Not to agree. It's horrible. You know what I mean? Just taking an inch is more than enough. But like, there's like, you know what? We're going to take this. And then slowly but surely, I think they're going to keep fighting Hezbollah, because Hezbollah is going to naturally fight them off. And they're going to try to keep fighting Hezbollah and try to push them back. And to push them back, they're going to try to claim more land. I think that's what they're going to try to do it. You know? I think that is the plan. You know? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of my beautiful analysis? But like genuinely, you know what I mean? Like, so now they take this officially, and now they have a forever excuse to just fight Hezbollah forever. And Hezbollah has an excuse to also keep fighting Israel and not giving up their weapons. It's all a fucking game. It's all a game, folks. Isn't it fun? Okay, let me also switch that to live chat. I might have missed a couple of messages. Anyway, so yeah. My fun little theory. But it's just kind of depressing to, you know, to look at all this stuff. This is fucking crazy to me. I Cried in Gaza is a film by Nurit Kedar. Is a film about female soldiers in Israel returned to combat roles after 75 years, facing the psychological aftermath of war. Committing genocide wasn't enough for Israel. They also need you to understand that the true victims of the genocide are the soldiers perpetrating it. I Cried is a film about female soldiers in Israel returned to combat roles after 75. Yeah, so like, fucking crazy. Let me see what it's actually about. This is what I hate. This is what I hate, man. I honestly even like the killing of Rin Jahab, of Hind Rajab. I don't want to watch any of those movies. Any critically acclaimed movie about Palestine, I just don't want to watch, because the West, again, is more than happy to let the world kill us and sit there silently as Arabs get butchered. But then when a movie about our killing is made, they'll let us make speeches. Let's invite them to the Oscars. Let's give them an award for talking about our pain. You love it when we talk about our pain. You love it when movies are made about our death and our pain and all that shit. You'll give us awards attention. No, we'll be nominated for Best International Feature. What an honor. It's like, oh, cool. Now you're paying attention. We'll get the awards. You know what I mean? The awards based on us dying. That's what you'd like to see. I cried in Gaza. Synopsis. It's a 55-minute Israeli... We're going to read the AI thing. It's Israeli, folks. It doesn't deserve more than an AI overview. I Cried in Gaza is a 55-minute Israeli documentary directed by Nurit Kedar that explores the hidden mental health crisis among female combat soldiers following the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack. The film focuses on 7 soldiers who served in Gaza and Lebanon, detailing their personal experiences with PTSD. Oh, that's so they felt some PTSD while killing people? Topic focuses on the over 4,000 women soldiers seeking mental health treatment after being deployed to the front lines, a significant increase since October the 7th. Content features testimonies from 7 female combatants discussing the intersection of duty and trauma, exploring the psychological toll of modern warfare. It highlights the raw, fresh memories of these soldiers, aiming to bring viewers into the lived experience of these new combat veterans. Production. The film is characterized as having a post-traumatic cinematic language, utilizing close-ups and silence to convey their stories. Very sad, very depressing. You know, that's what I want to see in my movies. I want to know how the people committing... I want to know how the Nazis felt. You know what I mean? How did the Nazis feel when they put those Jewish people in the gas chambers? How did they feel? How did it make you feel? Turning on, you know, like... That's what I want to see. I want to get it from the Nazis' perspective. And this is what I want to know here in the genocide. How did you feel committing this genocide? How do you feel now? Is it hard for you to look at... I had to kill so many Palestinian children. It's hard. Now, anytime I have a schnitzel, all I think about is the dead children. I can no longer enjoy a schnitzel, you know? Or my favorite falafel. Or worse, Cold Stone Creamery. How will I enjoy my Cold Stone? So anyways, I kind of wish we could watch it on stream or something, like, and give you like just a live reaction of that shit. You know, just the absurdity of it. Guys, we got a live review from Chris about Project Hail Mary. I'm going to read his WhatsApp message. It says, bro, the movie is fucking amazing. There hasn't been a movie that captivated me for so long. You don't have to worry about the IMAX thing because the cinematography shots are limited. The movie is more intimate with the characters, so mostly they are close-up shots. I don't mean, definitely do not miss watching it in the movies. So what do you guys think? Should I skip? Should I just not watch? Should I just wait to watch Project Hail Mary at home because I can't watch it in IMAX? Should I watch it like a peasant in a regular movie theater? Or should I just never watch it to never know what I missed in IMAX? Because I'm very particular about IMAX movies. This shot was filmed in IMAX, and I don't want to watch it in a regular theater. I've been kind of a bitch about it now. So what do you guys think? I'm going to do one final poll. Start a poll. Add an option. Project Hail Mary is not available in IMAX. What should I do? Watch it regular. Might as well watch at home. Never watch it. And forget. Never watch it and feel no pain. Start poll. You may vote. Dana says watch it in the theater. My goal was to watch it in the theater, Dana. My goal was to watch it in the greatest of theaters, IMAX, on the largest of screens. But again, I'll tell the story again for those who missed it. I thought because of the war they were going to postpone all movies, so I didn't even look to see if tickets were available. By the time I found out it was available in IMAX, I was considering watching it because the theater is in a dangerous area. And then by the time I decided to watch it, they had replaced it and removed it from the IMAX, the one IMAX theater we have in Lebanon, and replaced it with Mario, the new Mario Galaxy movie. So Project Hail Mary is no longer available in IMAX in Lebanon. So part of me just was like, you know what? Fuck it. If I can't watch it in IMAX, and I tried to watch it in IMAX, I couldn't. So let's see what people are saying. People are saying it's split between might as well watch it at home and watch it regular. Because if I watch it at home, the aspect ratio is going to be the same as it is at a non-IMAX screen. So IMAX would have given me this much more screen. I don't know, guys. I'm still feeling pretty petty about it. Haley, I'm not calling Chris a peasant. He called it a peasant screening. He messaged you. He's like, I'm watching it like a peasant today. And I have a 55-inch TV. It's not that big of a TV, you know? Watch it at home is starting to win. I don't know, guys. I think I have to be a principled person and just never watch it. I think that's what I'm leaning to, you know? Just never watch it. That's it. I don't need to know what I missed out on. Jay of the Dead says, as a pretentious film bro, I say watch it in theaters, even if no IMAX. I don't know, guys. Look at the difference. Painful, just painful. This is a regular screen. This is the IMAX screen. Look how much more planet I get. Look at how much more planet I get. Crazy. Oh, I hate it. God, it's so hot in here. I will miss out on the sippy cup and the peripherals. I want all my vision to be taken over by screen. I want to look up and see. I want to feel like I'm in space. You know what I mean? And this way, doesn't feel like it's gonna happen. I don't know, guys. I mean, Chris is trying to convince me. You're all trying to convince me, but I don't know. I don't know. It's so hot. God damn it. Sorry, guys. I got a hot pink t-shirt on. It is hot as hell. And purple pants. And there's a hole in my shirt. Fuck. Can you guys see the hole? Nah, you guys can't see it. We cool. Dana says, brother, please just watch it. I love that this is driving some people crazy, that my stubbornness and my pettiness is driving people crazy. We do have Letterboxd. We do have Letterboxd. Haley says, my vote is take from charity and rent the theater for thousands for one movie. That's right. I did contact, for those of you who don't know, I did a whole segment of this 2 days ago. Just watch yesterday's stream. I called the movie theater. I spoke to the manager of the IMAX. Her name was Nancy. And they told me it would cost me around $3,500 to rent out the whole theater. And instead of making me pay for the full 450 seats, she would make me pay for only, I think, 300 seats. And it would still cost about, or 400 seats, I think she said. And it would still cost about $3,500. So that would be the other option. I could rent it out for $3,500. But I would need to find like 400 people to fill out a theater. Anybody want to fly to Lebanon to watch it? Anyways, moving on. No more Project Hail Mary. Sneeko. Do we want to watch this? Spoke to an Israeli American on the Iran war. This is the fact that Sneeko made this, I don't care for it, but it's interesting hearing what like this like regular normie American Israeli thinks about the war. And I think what this guy is saying, he's so uninformed and it represents what a lot of Americans believe, unfortunately.
If we're gonna say that we have the superior value, where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Do you support the war in Iran?
I do support the war in Iran.
How come?
I think it's promoting American values and helping make Americans.
What are American values anymore? Like, that's my question. Like, seriously, what are American values? Because to me, American values are literally straight up genocide. Bombing girls' schools. Like, what is an American value at this point? What is an American value? It's so gone. Like, after the genocide, any American person speaking about American values, and we need to spread American values and democracy around, like, dude, it means nothing. It means fucking nothing, literally. American values, the rest of the world sees American values as death and destruction and corruption. Like, that's literally what you export, in like obesity and unhealthy food and processed food. Those are American values.
Around the world more safe.
How is it making Americans more safe by bombing Iran?
The current regime in Iran has been known to promote.
We're making it more safe. Like, dude, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
Terrorism around the world.
Haven't we too? We killed 1 million people in Iraq.
Oh, you want us to bomb ourselves?
No, but I mean, if we're gonna say that we have the superior values and that we need to go fix their countries, we've made a lot of mistakes in Vietnam and Syria and all over the Middle East.
Whoa, So Left says, I timed out Sneeko and Zeteo's chat. That's fucking hilarious. Why was Sneeko in Zeteo's chat? Was he agreeing with Zeteo, or was he like shitting on Mehdi Hassan?
There's a big Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. I think it's our responsibility as Americans to make sure that terrorism is not allowed worldwide. And the best way to do that right now is by fighting the regime in Iran. I pray for the Iranian people. There are a lot of innocent people in Iran.
Jackson, why are you watching Sneeko? We're not watching Sneeko. I'm just listening to what this guy has to say. Forget Sneeko.
I pray for them every day, but there's a lot of bad people in Iran, and overall the world is going to be better without them.
So you want to get rid of Iran?
I don't want to get rid of Iran. I want to get rid of the regime in Iran.
How's that going to be accomplished?
Hopefully, without many innocent deaths. I think the best path.
Yeah, I kind of missed. I was talking to chat. Like, this dude's basis for politics and geopolitics is a Spider-Man quote that Stan Lee, like a throwaway line that Stan Lee wrote in the 1960s, has become this man's whole basis for war.
Path is for the Iranian people themselves to rise up and have a country for themselves. I feel like they're being oppressed. From what I know, I think it's our responsibility as Americans.
People in Iraq.
Oh, you want us to bomb ourselves?
No, but I mean, if we're gonna say that we have the superior values and that we need to go fix their countries, we've made a lot of mistakes in Vietnam and Syria and...
Dude, he looks so fucking angry. Look at his face. Unhinged.
All over the Middle East.
There's a big Spider-Man quote, with great power comes great responsibility. I think it's...
That's what I based my whole political life on.
So the Iranian people can rise up and take the country.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of civilian deaths on the first day of the war.
The comic books were made as American propaganda in World War II, right, Anthony? Well, not all comic books, and not the Spider-Man comics. The Captain America comics were used for some propaganda in World War II. Like, you had Captain America literally punching Hitler in the face on one of the covers.
Boy, they bombed a school, killed 168 kids, and killed the Ayatollah, but they still have the regime in charge. We tried to arm different ethnic groups like the Kurds, and they refuse. The Iranian people seem to have backed their regime right now.
From what I understand, war is war, and the terrible part of war is people die. America and Israel are doing everything they can to make sure innocent civilians don't die, and I think they are holding up to their values. I think they are holding...
I mean, Sneeko chuckled at that, you know. Irene says, any streamer who is stimulating their audience to see the wrongs of the US, I don't hate even if they're terribly flawed. I mean, look, Sneeko is insanely flawed, more than flawed. Extremely problematic. It was literally banned, and I did recently watch that Louis Theroux documentary. Super funny, super insightful. So I think Sneeko is extremely problematic. The only positive thing is that he is kind of talking about Lebanon. He's one of the only streamers that is kind of covering what's happening in Lebanon. But again, whoever was conducting this interview, I don't really care. I'm just kind of interested in getting the response of this person, because to me, this guy represents, like, you know, the majority of Americans right now. It's believe what this guy believes.
To their word. And I think overall, the main goal of this is to
did he say war is war?
They're doing everything they can to
back their regime right now.
from what I understand, war is war, and the terrible part of war is people die. America.
It's crazy how far that line goes in excusing the most horrible things. Well, war is war. People are going to die. 180 school kids are going to die. Then it's war. It's terrible. It sucks. But I mean, you know, as soon as you say war is war, terrible things are going to happen. But hey, you know, of course I feel bad for the kids that died. I don't believe anything that comes out of your fucking mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just...
America and Israel are doing everything they can to make sure innocent civilians don't die. And I think they are holding up to their values. I think they are holding to their word. And I think overall, the main goal of this is to kill terrorists. And I support that.
Are you Israeli?
I lived in Israel for about 8 years. And I hold an Israeli passport.
Did you fight in the IDF?
No.
So you're a dual citizen?
Yes.
Okay. Why can't Israel...
Dual freak.
Just fight that war? Why does America have to get involved? They didn't pose an imminent threat. On the first day, Rubio said they threatened Israel.
By the way, I'm an Israeli.
But they didn't threaten America.
First of all, they did threaten America, and they have for years. They've been supporting Hezbollah terrorists and Hamas. I don't
You know how there's like this quote online. It's like, OnlyFans detected, opinion rejected. It's a very like sexist and bad line. I think we should kind of use it though, like Israeli passport detected, opinion rejected. Like as soon as someone says I'm Israeli, it's like, oh, okay, that's enough. That's enough of you. Shut the mic off, censorship time. And that's enough of that as well. Focusing in on Lebanon a little bit more, folks, as your Lebanese American host over here, you know, with an American passport. I deal with this all the time. Time to deal with it again. The U.S. Embassy in Lebanon has released a statement strongly urging its citizens not to travel to Lebanon and to leave while commercial flights are still available. Here we go again. It also said that people who are in southern Lebanon, border regions near Syria, refugee settlements, and Beirut's southern suburbs are advised to leave immediately. We recommend that U.S. citizens in Lebanon who choose not to leave prepare contingency plans for emergency situations and be prepared to shelter in place should the situation deteriorate further, it said. Very nice, folks. So I need to prepare some contingency plans. I love reading this stuff every day. The U.S. Embassy Beirut is providing limited passport services on an emergency basis to U.S. citizens. All routine consular visits, services including visa operations are suspended until further notice, the embassy added. I love being told to leave because the country is getting worse. Leave now while commercial flights. And by the way, like flights are constantly getting canceled. I had a friend reach out today. Ryan, if you're watching. Shada's best friend. What did he say? I'm not going to open his message, but he was mentioning that his flight got canceled. He was going to go visit his dad in the States, and his flight got canceled. So can't even. I'm supposed to go to a wedding in July, so I'm supposed to go visit my fucking family. You know. Bye, Politics. Thanks for being here. My ass is getting hungry. I might have to heat some food in a second, guys. What's the name of the Lebanese Easter treat you were eating the other day, Anthony? It's called Ma'moul. TW. Ma'moul. Very tasty stuff. Breaking. Israel is blowing up entire civilian homes in Nour, South Lebanon right now. Civilian homes, no military target, no justification. Trigger warning. God damn, bro, that's loud. God damn, still so fucking loud. Holy fuck. Okay, let's stop watching this. This is... Oh, by the way, I forgot to give you guys an update. The charity money, the fundraiser money is almost with me. It finally got transferred to my US bank account. Turns out the reason that it got so delayed, I was using the wrong routing number. The people at the payment processing thing didn't tell me that I had the wrong fucking routing number for like 10 days. So the money is now in my US bank account. My sister is going to start sending it to me like today, ASAP, so I should have it soon. 20K is going to go to Nation Station to provide over 10,000 meals to people. And then there's 5K, over 5K that's going to be distributed to a bunch of people caring for animals. Among them, Animals Lebanon. So here's a video about them. A small rescue team for Animals Lebanon heads into Beirut's southern suburbs, struck almost daily by Israeli aircraft looking for trapped animals. The NGO says its teams have rescued 241 animals from those suburbs and South Lebanon since the start of the Middle East war. The volume here is super low.
Finally. Yalla.
Look at these little kitties. Aww.
فيها لعيبه لانه هذا الحيوان ما ذنبه لا بالحروب ولا باي شيء. ونحن يعني غير انه هو كحيوان نحن بنتعاطف معه، كمان في عالم لها اصحابها، يعني نحن بدنا نبين على حسن نيتنا لهالعالم اللي مش قادره تجيب حيواناتها، نحن نقدر نجيب لها اياها.
Oh.
يعني نحن يمكن الوحيدين اللي عندنا هيدي الخبره انه نقدر نلاقيهم اول شيء، لانه كمان صرنا نعرف وين بيتخبوا وكيف بينلقطوا. فبالتالي اذا نحن ما فتنا امنا بعملنا بهيدا الشغل ما حيكون في حدا تاني عم يعمله.
So we're going to be sure to give them some cash as well. Bless these volunteers, these people. So there's been like a small update. So as we talked about this, so Israel scales back war aims from the Litani to 3 kilometers and no longer seeking Hezbollah's disarmament. Israeli army radio reports that the military will present a plan this week to the political leadership aimed at the complete destruction of villages along the southern border. So they're still going to destroy the whole border. And the establishment of a security zone cleared of civilians with no return allowed for the Lebanese residents of frontline towns. According to Israeli military officials, the entire area within 3 to 4 kilometers of the border is to be transformed into a buffer zone, reinforced by forward military positions. At the same time, the Israeli army now states that disarming Hezbollah is not among the objectives of the war. For over a year, Israeli leadership insisted Hezbollah had been crippled or effectively neutralized. Today, the goal of disarmament is no longer even pursued. The contradiction is unavoidable. If that objective had been dropped, it is because it was never achievable in the first place. What was once framed as an advance toward the Litani River has now been reduced to a narrow strip of 3 to 4 kilometers. If this trajectory continues, these goals will keep shrinking until the reality becomes undeniable. Holding ground inside Lebanon is not sustainable, and imposing outcomes by force has clear limits. I also hope, I mean, I was giving you guys my analysis, but like I think they're using it as an excuse to get more and more land over time. It is also very much also because they're eating shit from Hezbollah. They're getting pounded by Hezbollah. They've lost like almost 100 tanks from what I understand. A lot of soldiers are dying, and yes, the Israelis are causing way more damage to Lebanon than Hezbollah is ever going to be able to cause to them. But to them, Israeli lives are worth more. Like, you know what I mean? Like to them, so they can't afford to lose that, and they're currently fighting like 7 other wars. They're currently fighting in Gaza. They're expanding in the West Bank. They're fighting in Iran. They're fighting the Houthis. Like, they have no time. They don't have the personnel to fight this war. So it's either going to keep shrinking because Hezbollah is going to keep whooping their asses. But anyways, this is what it's looking like now. Regardless of these plans, the reality on the ground will not follow that script. The people of the South will return to their villages. Regardless of these plans, the reality. The people of the South, a depopulated buffer zone is not something that can be imposed or sustained. That is something they will never be able to achieve. From your mouth to God's ears, my friend. McG, hello, hello. Lots of country names getting blocked by chat app. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. So yeah, people in chat are getting very censored, apparently. That's nuts, man. I wonder when they're just going to silence the whole show. They're just going to block the whole show. Well, actually, let me open up that link one more time just to read what the quote tweet was. Okay. There it is. So Nassim Talib quote tweeted that and said, Israelis can't fight. They can just bomb from the air or terrorize Palestinian children. So predictably, you have adaptations to aggression, a mechanism similar to antibiotic resistance, and they can't go too far against fighters wearing their funeral shrouds. And we did watch that video of the Hezbollah fighter going into battle, wearing his funeral shroud, ready to die, already accepting their death. So yeah, what can you really do? How can you fight people that are fighting for a just cause and that are willing to die for their land? You know? Impossible. This is the aftermath of a mosque in Lebanon's West Ba'a following an Israeli strike, a drone strike targeting worshippers. It resulted in at least 2 killed and 11 injured. So disrespectful. So, I mean, they fucking killed 2 people. We were also talking about the Lebanese military being forced to evacuate Christian villages as commanded by the Lebanese government because they're trying to avoid any engagement with the Israeli military. So here is Steve Sweeney kind of giving a translation of why. Beirut Review learned from official Lebanese sources that the main reason behind the authorities' decision to withdraw the Lebanese army a few days ago from the villages of Ramesh, Dibel, and Ain Kabal was a direct instruction from the Americans, who said they had received an Israeli request through the Mechanism Committee in this regard. The political authority, which immediately complied with the American directive, did not pay attention to the interests of the residents in those villages and left them to their fate. As for the Israeli objective, according to official sources, it is to displace the residents of these villages in preparation for securing freedom of movement for the occupation army in the context of its attacks on Bint Jbeil and the neighboring villages. So Israel asked the Lebanese army to evacuate. So the U.S. asked the Lebanese army to evacuate. They asked the Lebanese government to force the Lebanese army to evacuate its positions in Christian towns so that the Israeli army has freedom of movement around the occupied land of Lebanon so that they can commit other attacks and attack other Muslim towns. Isn't that? But they've also attacked Christian towns. They've also murdered Christians. We talked about that. So they don't care about religion, etc. This is exhausting to talk about. Here's a fun piece of news that I didn't know. Not fun, but like we watched this video yesterday of the city of Tyre. Look at this. Tyre, the city that resisted to a 13-year siege of Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar, but fell to Alexander the Great, who used the stone of the mainland to reach Tyre via a causeway. The city where the purple color was discovered from the Murex shellfish. I did not know that purple was discovered in Lebanon. Isn't that fucking dope? We discovered purple. And look, you know you're fucked when Eylon Levy is sharing a Lebanese TV presenter who is calling for peace with Israel. Now, I can't show this clip because we'll get copyrighted by the TV network, MTV. MTV, again, is the extremely right-wing, very Zionist, very pro-Israel, anti-Hezbollah, anti-resistance TV channel, okay? It is like the Fox News of Lebanon on steroids. You have this dude, a Lebanese TV host, literally on TV, calling for peace with Israel. It's like, I want peace with Israel. I want peace with Tel Aviv. We don't want this anymore. It's like, my guy. Like, how could you even ask for that after watching the genocide in Gaza? Like, that's what disgusts me. But you know what? They don't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about Palestinians. They don't give a fuck about Gaza. The right-wing Christian party in Lebanon are the ones that collaborated with the IDF in the 80s in the Sabra and Shatila massacres. So when it comes to extreme right-wing Christians, they couldn't care less. So we're not going to play the clip as Marcel Ghanem, you're a fucking bitch, you little Zionist cuck. We're not going to read this whole article, but this article, we talked about it a couple days ago. But this article says Israel is threatening non-Shia Lebanese who give refuge to Shias. It's like when the Nazis went after people for hiding Jews in their attics, except no one sees it that way because Arabs are so dehumanized. So yeah, apparently Shias, Israelis are going after Lebanese people that hide Shia in their homes. Just like that scene, and I hate to have to reference a Quentin Tarantino movie, but just like that opening scene of Inglourious Bastards with Monsieur Lapadite and his children hiding a whole Jewish family in his basement. That's what Lebanese people are doing, and now we're going to get punished. If a Christian protects a Muslim, folks, we're getting punished for that. Isn't that fucking nuts? We're about to get to the Piers Morgan stuff. Dan is asking out of curiosity, is Jnoud al-Rab still a thing? They might be. They probably are, but they're like irrelevant as fuck right now. Like I haven't seen them do or say anything in a while. Lindsey Graham put out this tweet, which is also very bizarre. To say that I've been disappointed in the Lebanese armed forces leadership under General Haikal and their willingness to take on Hezbollah is an understatement. Now the LAF, or the Lebanese army, now the LAF is openly talking about abandoning Christian villages in the south, subjecting them to Hezbollah attacks and trying to blame Israel. Okay, so first of all, you dumb motherfucker, the United States government has forced the Lebanese government to evacuate the Lebanese military. It's not the Lebanese military abandoning the people so that Hezbollah can go kill them, you dumb motherfucker. Subjecting them to Hezbollah attacks and trying to blame Israel. To the Lebanese government, this is a very dangerous decision, and you will be held accountable for the consequences of this decision if Christian villages are attacked by Hezbollah. You see how they're fucking trying to spin this? And dumbass Americans who read this guy's tweets or who watch American news are genuinely out there thinking that like Hezbollah is now out there bombing Christian villages and Israel is defending the Christians in South Lebanon. How fucking crazy is that, dude? Can someone just, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are these people allowed to talk about my country? Why are these people allowed to share misinformation? To the Lebanese government, this is a very dangerous decision, and you will be held accountable for the consequences if this decision leads to Christian villages attacked by Hezbollah. The LAF, under the leadership of General Haikal, has been a tremendous failure when it comes to fighting Hezbollah. How fucked is this, dude? You got American politicians going on Twitter saying, like, why is the Lebanese military abandoning these villages? Hezbollah is going to kill these Christians. Meanwhile, Israel has murdered a priest, killed a Christian father and son just 5 days ago. They ran over a statue of St. George. They've destroyed 100-year-old churches. But Hezbollah is the one that is killing Christians, apparently. What can you even do about this? I don't know. How does one even combat this level of misinformation and propaganda? You just can't at this point, guys. Just believe me. Believe I'm telling the truth. And then you have some Lebanese idiots like this guy, Ahmad, who quote tweets Lindsey Graham's tweet and says, protect them. And he tags Lindsey Graham. Look at what a fucking boot-licking cuck. Like, can you imagine being Lebanese and, like, tagging Lindsey Graham, thinking that Lindsey Graham can actually make a difference? And he tags just so that Lindsey Graham doesn't accidentally protect a Muslim neighborhood. You wouldn't want them protecting a Muslim, a Shia village. God forbid. Literally tags them. Please protect them, Lindsey Graham. Oh my God! Like these fucking Lebanese idiots that think that tagging American politicians on Twitter, please save us, please help us, as they literally murder thousands of us. And they thank them for it. Please, just please spare the Christians. How fucking sick is this? How fucking sick is this? Ahmad Sukkad. He lives here. I mean, this guy could probably fucking kill me. You know? He's in Psharre. Crazy, dude. Insane. Please protect them, Lindsey Graham. Please protect the Lebanese Christian villages. Help us. Idiot. Yeah, I just posted lol. And we have this other guy, Mario Daiba, as well. Quote tweets Lindsey Graham. Senator Graham, thank you for keeping the Lebanese Christian villages in your sight. You are right. The LAF has betrayed us, but blame alone is no longer enough. We need you to go further. The current Lebanese system is anti-Christian by design. It was built to dilute, weaken, and eventually erase the last Christian stronghold in the East. On top of that, it's run by the deepest, most criminal, mafiocrat, terrorist class in our modern history. We need real American pressure, the kind that actually changes outcomes. Happy Easter, sir. Christ is risen. He's wishing him a happy Easter, telling him Christ is risen. And tags him at Lindsey Graham SC. Did he like your tweet, you dumb fuck? Did he give you a like, you stupid idiot? Mario Daiba. Insane fucking tweet. I think I quote tweeted that guy. Just crazy. Crazy. Please, Mr. Graham, thank you for keeping us safe. Thank you for... Lindsey Graham doesn't give two shits about Lebanon or the Christians in Lebanon, bro. You think he actually gives a shit about Christians? If he did, he would call out Israel for destroying 100-year-old Lebanese churches or killing priests. Is that not a bad thing? On the phone. It's so fucking bad. It's so bad. Rania Khaled quote tweets, Lindsey Graham says, local journalists report that the Lebanese armed forces retreated from Christian border villages under pressure from the Americans so that Israel could force out the Christian residents and use their towns to attack adjacent Shia villages where Hezbollah is repelling their invasion. People like Lindsey Graham hate Middle Eastern Christians. Every monstrous policy he supports has led to the destruction of the oldest Christian communities in the world across the region. And exactly, we are among the oldest Christians. Lebanon is fucking stuck to Israel, to Israel and Palestine, Jerusalem, where Jesus was fucking born, okay, in Palestine. So some of the first Christians and some of the earliest Christians are here in Lebanon. Again, Jesus, if you guys believe in that stuff, Christian, according to the Bible, Jesus performed his first miracle in South Lebanon, in Kana. So literally some of the first converts to Christianity are right here in Lebanon. We are more Christian than Lindsey Graham will ever be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus walked in our lands. Did Jesus walk around in North America? Did he walk around Texas or Alabama or New Orleans or wherever the fuck he's from? No, he didn't. He walked here in Lebanon, on our land. Isn't that nice? Okay, Lebanon is mentioned in the Bible. Where's Lindsey Graham from? Texas or what? South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina is not mentioned in the Bible, Lindsey Graham. Jesus ain't never walked in no South Carolina. He never had no iced tea over there. Okay. Dumb fuck.
From Yaroun, it is...
Okay, this is another video from this lady. What was her name again? Courtney Bono. We talked about her. Horrible reporter. Horrible reporter. Shits on Arabs at the first chance she gets. War porn addict. Just comes to Lebanon to mine us for our content. As soon as you argue with her on Twitter, she shows her true face. She's a fucking racist piece of shit. Fuck this lady. But anyways, let's watch her report.
Hi, I'm reporting to you today from Yaroun. It is Christmas Day, and I am at the St. George's Church, which was heavily damaged during the war and during the ceasefire period here in Lebanon. This church lies right on the border of Lebanon and occupied Palestine, and it was occupied for some time during the ceasefire, I think until maybe February. This is the first Christmas Mass that they've been able to hold at the church since that time.
Yeah. So this is what they do to Lebanese, to Christian communities in South Lebanon and in Lebanon. They don't give a fuck. They'll never give a fuck. Some more good news. Ingenious Baboon, hello, Hoot. Ingenious Rania Khaled with some more good news. The Israelis just announced they plan to bomb the main border crossing between Lebanon and Syria, known as Masna. This is an attack on civilian border crossing, the most used between Lebanon and Syria for moving people and goods, suggests an attempt to choke Lebanon. How are you guys doing? You guys doing good? By the way, I think I've decided, guys. Let me stop this poll and let me get your... I genuinely want your honest opinion on this, okay? So most of you are saying I should watch it at home. 35% are telling me I should watch the movie in the theater, and 26% tell me never to watch the movie ever. I really want to start making Lego content. I've been dying to build some of these sets. Just to cope with the whole situation, but I also don't want to do them off cam. I want to make content out of them. I want to populate the gaming channel, which has been rebranded to DNW Playroom. Okay, I just want to see if it's if it's socially acceptable. During a war on stream. During. I would need your votes, folks. I need your votes. Why is it a bad poll? Then I think I'm gonna watch it in the theater. Don't worry. I think I'm gonna watch it in the theater. Then I promise. So people are saying it is acceptable for me to do Lego streams. Okay. 6% says wait a little bit longer. No one is saying no. 94% say yes. Irene says, yes, Anthony, you have to live, brother. Drax's Resistance is also making Lego. Drax is abso-fucking-lutely, man. Okay, awesome. So, but here, I'm going to do it on the other channel. It's not, we built Rivendell on this channel. I think it's going to be weird, and it's going to be kind of like very, you know, what's the word? When you're moving someone quick, whiplash. It's going to be a lot of whiplash going like War in Lebanon, building a little cute Lego set. War in Lebanon, cute Lego set. So the gaming channel needs content. It's been rebranded to DNW Playroom. We're going to rework on the logo and everything. There's still going to be some gaming on there. I'm still going to be playing Dark Souls, etc. But I have so many Lego sets. There's so many more live streams that I could do with all these Lego sets. From building them to then reviewing them. I'm so excited, honestly. I just want to make a haul video showing you guys what I bought. That's just going to be its own video. Just videos talking about Lego news, streams about Lego, games. I just want to go back to having some fun. So, and I really want to jump on the other channel and have some fun. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the other channel, let me just quickly get you guys the link for that. Because I genuinely do want to have some fun again. And I have a lot of very nice, fun Lego sets, to be honest with you guys. Subscribe to DNW Playroom. Bam, let me pin it. Can I pin something and have a So yes is 97% of the poll. No one has voted no. And 3% have said wait longer. I'm going to wait till the branding is done. I have a couple of like little mini battle packs that I'm waiting to arrive. Otherwise, I have a lot of Lego. Like the cantina. I don't even want to spoil all the stuff that I have. I have so much nice stuff. Marina says it's an alright way to cope. Dana says live life as much as you can. Drax says keep it real. People will enjoy you enjoying nonsense too. Marina says it can help get stress away. Jess says it sounds fun. Jay of the Dead says we need all the Legos. Okay, fucking awesome. I'm going to start with a haul video. I'm going to start with a haul video just to update you guys on what I've been buying, you know, since we finished building Rivendell. There's so much. Please subscribe to the other channel. I really want it to be fun. I want there to be a lot of you guys on there when I stream. And I'm going to try to promote them. I'm going to try to promote the Lego streams as well as I can, as intensely as I can. But certainly, subscribe. It's going to be fun. Do not worry. Playroom, it's more general. Playroom can mean anything. I was thinking game room, playroom. A lot of people were telling me, Noodles, like, do it game room. I like play. I like the word play because it's playing. We're playing with Lego. We're playing video games. It's to tap into that childish side of me, which I still have. You know, I'm still very much a child on the inside. I like childish things sometimes. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of play from time to time, even during war. And, in fact, I can actually use those streams to raise awareness. Like, hey, look, as a Lebanese person, how is it possible to build a Lego set or to build a clone army during a war? You know what I mean? What's it like for a Lebanese person to go and get all these Lego sets? Like, all these Americans are out there bitching. Lego Hez video. What's Hez videos? What's a Hez video? Is there a Merkava Lego that you could destroy later? That would be pretty nice. Jess says, Anthony, remember when your biggest concern in life was cleaning up people's shit in Rio Lento? Oh, I do. I do. Those are the good days as well. Lego Hez video. Oh, Hez video. Oh, Haley, I get. No need to explain, Haley. No need to explain. You'll get yourself in trouble. I understand. You mean like those Iranian Lego videos? You guys want some stop motion? Some Lego stop motion, some war stop motion. Jeff the Dead, my Panera just got here. Sahtain, enjoy that Panera. I haven't had Panera in so long. Oh my god. How do you protect your Legos from sonic booms? That's a good idea. Or how to pack your Lego set in case of an emergency evacuation. Quickly, in the box, in the box. Yeah, it's gonna be a panic, guys. I'm dying to show you what I have. I have so many nice fucking sets. I guess I could show you. Can I show you one? But answer me in the chat. If I show you one of my new sets, would it be spoiling the haul video, or you guys don't mind seeing one of the sets? Based on your answers, I'll show you. I'll tease you with one little set. Oh, we got another one as well. Another dumbass Lebanese person. Tom Harib says, South Lebanese villages need humanitarian corridor into Israel. Senator Lindsey Graham, thank you for your strong leadership and for holding the LAF under General Haikal accountable. Their failure against Hezbollah and talk of abandoning Christian villages in the south is dangerous and unacceptable. We urge you and the U.S. administration to press the Lebanese government and Ministry Justice to lift legal barriers preventing coordination with Israel, especially for humanitarian reasons. South Lebanese villages urgently need safe passes and direct coordination with the IDF and Israel for medicine, medical care, hospitals. So they want to build a corridor so that Christians in the south can go to Israel for medical aid and stuff. Isn't that fucking crazy? South Lebanese villages urgently need safe passage and direct coordination with the IDF and Israel for medicine, medical care, hospital supplies, and essential aid to save civilian lives. This practical step would protect innocents and show real compassion alongside strength against terror. Appreciate your continued focus on this critical issue. And then tagged everyone. Donald Trump, the president, the army, the U.S. embassy, Yusuf Raji, Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, the Ted Cruz, everybody. Everybody, bro. Soul Life says, I wanted to buy Lego sets, sit on until it's out of stock and expensive as fuck, and then sell it, but I don't know how to tell which kits to do that and which ones they keep manufacturing. So Soul Life, there's actually a bunch of YouTubers that'll tell you, but you want to buy stuff that, I don't know, stuff that, for example, the Lord of the Rings stuff. Rivendell will definitely, I mean, they've sold a lot of them already, but it's a very popular set that people like, and Lego does discontinue everything after 2, 3, sometimes they'll extend it for 4 years, but almost every single Lego set gets retired. So, but don't buy them as an investment unless you have tons of cash, because they don't go up in value that much. If you buy a set for $100, it might be worth 150, but after a while, you know what I mean? But it's hard to know. Lego Star Wars has so many sets that people buy and hold on to. It's super complicated. I'm going to show you guys one set, just as a little tease. You guys ready to see this one? Guys, it's been so hard to just look at these and not build them. The One Piece. The Going Merry. Or Going Merry. Yeah, the Going Merry pirate ship. Look at this. I mean, this is based off the Netflix TV show, but it's also very close to the anime one. I can't fucking wait to build this. Look at this. Look how cute this is. I got this obviously from our boys at Bricking. I think they're one of the only people in Lebanon that sell this, and for the best price. So, isn't this nice? So we're going to build this on stream. Super excited. I'll keep it next to me for now. You guys saw it already. Go. Very excited to build it. Marina says, One Piece, I'm jealous. It's it's beautiful. Wait, did Dana leave? Dana wanted to see? That's the hell old Lego pirate. That's what I like. It looks like a little pirate kit. You know what I mean? Those old school pirate sets. And you got the minifigs look amazing. Look at the side art. The side art is so beautiful as well. Look at this. Very nice. And you have the whole crew. You get Zoro. You get Luffy. You get Nami. You get the chef. And you get getting their names. What's his name? The dude with a visor. Lovely set. The Lego globe I wanted was 200-ish when I first. I mean, look, I had to pay a premium. I got the Lego Star Wars Cantina set. It's been retired for like 2 years or something now. I had to pay a premium for that one. I had to pay a premium for it. But yeah. Let's go. Anyways. Let's... Some good news. Chris says, chuffed money investment to Lego. Nice. This is no chuffed money. This is my hard work. I mean, chuffed money. All the chuffed money is traced, folks. Easily traceable. I don't even have any of it. This is my own hard, my hard work, Chris. Shit. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. I got so many more. There's so many more sets. There's so much nice stuff. I can't wait to do that haul video. But I feel like I've spoiled it. You guys have already seen too much, The globe looks cool. And I've seen someone transform that globe into a Death Star, actually, which is also nice. Since we've been looking at a lot of bad news, let's look at a couple of cute little fun news updates, okay? About Lebanon. Let's start with one. Here is a little cat. Look at this little cat at a hospital, next to a hospital in Nabatieh in Lebanon, standing next to Hussein Shaban, who is a member of the press. Look at that little kitty asking for some love and attention. Maybe a little bit of food. Look at that expressive mouth. That expressive face. Oh, look at that little kitty. Look at that little kitty. Also, in more good news, we have, here's a, oh, how did this get here? No, this wasn't supposed to be in the good news section. What happened here? We have an Israeli militant injured in Lebanon. What is this? Why is this in the good news section? Anyways, let's just cover it anyways. But this was a mistake. This is not meant to be a good thing.
היה לי זכות להילחם איתכם, ואני שמח שאתם ממשיכים להילחם, ואני אוהב אתכם, ואני גאה בכם, ואל תוותרו, ותמשיכו עד שכל לבנון שטוחה, כמו שעשיתם בעזה. אתם הכי טובים.
I don't even need to speak Hebrew. I just know, as soon as they say, oh, Lebanon, Gaza, Lebanon, it means, let me guess, you're saying that Lebanon is going to become like Gaza. That's all you fuckers can say. That's all these fuckers know how to say. We are going to make Lebanon, we're going to make your country like Gaza. That's all we know how to do. Like, I don't even need the translation. Isn't that what he's saying? Right?
שטוחה כמו שעשיתם בעזה, אתם הכי טובים שיש לנו ואני אוהב אתכם, ושתדעו שאני בסדר גמור, אין מה לדאוג, סך הכל רגל, ואני מכיר אתכם בכל אחד.
What happened to your face, buddy? What happened to your face?
אחד מכם היה נתן רגל בשביל המדינה שלו, אני זכיתי להיות הזה שנתן, תמשיכו לתת בראש, אני אוהב אתכם.
What a handsome man. You come to South Lebanon to try to take our land. This is what happens to you. Anyways, I really don't know how this ended up on the good news section. There's some more details about this fucker. Oh, look, it's been translated.
Let's go
back. The champions of the Reich, oh, they're called the Reich Force, coming to Reich. Sounds like Reich. It was my privilege to fight alongside you, and I'm glad you're continuing to fight while I'm sitting here with my beautiful face. Carry on in my honor. Oh, there we go. There he goes. Lebanon. Until the title of Lebanon is flat like you've done in Gaza. Of course, that's all you know how to say. So like his eyebrows were burnt off too. It looks like some burning or something. I don't know what happened to him. Anyways, I don't know how this ended up here. I'm very sorry. Let's go back to some actual good news, okay? I promise this next piece of news is going to be a positive, fun update, okay? Israeli soldier killed by Hezbollah. How does this keep happening? I swear I had some nice, celebratory, good, positive news here. What? This keeps happening. How did this end up here? How did this end up here? Israeli soldier killed by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. This guy looks 12, by the way. Why did this guy have to die? Like, honestly, though. Like, doesn't this guy have something better to do? Shouldn't this guy be in, like, the UK right now or, like, New Jersey? Going to, like, an arcade or whatever the fuck? But again, this was not meant to be here, folks. This is not meant to be celebrated. But I mean, I guess he could now join his friends. Like, look, he can now join his good friend Moshe, and he could join, you know, our bros. Again, moment of silence for the bros. Got Moshe, got him. R.I.P. Rest in peace. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do this. Anyways, let's watch some IDF soldiers desecrating another church in South Lebanon, making fun of Palm Sunday, a Christian tradition. IDF soldiers perform Palm Sunday ritual over destruction in Lebanon. Beautiful. With all that, folks, it is time to get into the Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan and a Kasparian war in Iran video that I've been wanting to watch. Chris sends another $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Chris. Says, of course, it's in the good news. He got milked one last time. He got everybody getting milked. All those Israeli soldiers getting the milky milk. Chris, thank you for the super chat. So, Chris, feel free to give your review of Project Hail Mary in the chat. I read your review. I already read people your message, Chris, and I do think I'm gonna try to watch it. I guess in the theater. You know, I guess I'm not gonna miss that much if you're saying it's all close-ups and stuff. Yeah, let me go put the One Piece set back. I don't want it on the floor. Speaking of One Piece Lego sets, if anyone does want it, I think Bricking might only just have one left. Because when I was looking at their website, I wanted to buy it. It showed up as sold out. So I was like, oh shit. So I texted them. I'm like, hey, if you guys are getting another inventory, can you guys get me one? They're like, of course, we'll get you one. Don't worry. Then they text me the next day like, yo, there was actually like a mistake in the inventory. We have 2 left. So I bought one. So as far as I know, there's 1 left on the website. And I don't know when they're going to be able to get a next one because of the whole situation and the war and stuff. So if you're in Lebanon in chat and you want the One Piece Lego set, Bricking, I think only has 1 left. And they're already sold out of the Cantina. I did fantastic. I got so lucky to buy the Cantina when I did because they also had 2 left. I bought one. The second one sold the next day. Can you fucking believe that? The next day. Okay. Anthony, what are your thoughts on the Hail Mary Lego set? I've seen it. It looks cool. I don't know how to judge the price for it yet. I am very much interested in the Tintin. Before we get into this, let me show you guys the Tintin one. What do you guys think? You guys think I should get this one? I'm a huge Tintin fan. I've loved Tintin my whole life. As a kid, it's available for pre-order on bricking.com. Look at this thing. It's so pretty. I don't love the red and white. Like, I find this red, like this primary red, to be a bit too eye-catching. Like, I don't know if I want this as, like, it looks beautiful. I love this rocket. It's such an iconic cover. The minifigures look so beautiful. I just don't know if I love this red as like a display piece, but I really want it. Like, the minifigs alone to me are gorgeous. With these little oxygen masks. Are you fucking kidding me? They're beautiful. And the rocket is beautiful as well. The rocket looks kind of boring to build, but it looks like a very nice display piece. I just don't know if that primary red is something that would look good on my shelf with all the other stuff, because it look like, I don't know. Draxus looks like a sex toy. Now that you mention it, come on. No, don't make me look at it that way. But look at the minifigs. I don't know, it's a very nice set. I'm very much strongly considering pre-ordering this thing. Did you play Hogwarts, by the way? Keep it real. I borrowed it from someone and I played like 14 hours of it and did not like it. It's honestly kind of a shit game. And I did not want to pay for it to not support our girl, JK. Tintin is a Belgian franchise. But it is in French, yes. Mais c'est belge, technically, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Time to get into the Piers Morgan. Ingenious Baboon says, لا بس قوي كتير. Oh, Tintin, are you talking about? Rave says, it looks like you joined it. It looks like a sexo. Lego rocket, or are you just happy to see me? Guys, come on. It's an innocent Lego rocket. Anyways, let's get to some Piers Morgan. It's only a 47-minute video. I guess the whole thing is a debate.
You're just wasting. Oh, good. Insults. That's good.
President Trump says the war in Iran could be over within 2 or 3 weeks. The aftershocks, however, even if that is true, will last for years. Trump has told the Telegraph.
Yo, it's the whole thing. 1.25. Jim D. Dukers in the chat with a 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. W's in the chat for Jim D. Dukers, folks. Thank you so much, Jim. What a lovely surprise. What an entrance. What an entrance, Jim. Holy hell. So you guys really all think it looks like a penis? You guys, it's crazy. Anyways, I have too many Lego sets right now, so I shouldn't be thinking. And I am building a clone army, a Star Wars clone army, so it needs more pieces. So, but I got a lot of nice shit coming. Jim, we love you. We got 16 new members today. 16 new members. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Let us begin. I might take a pause, like halfway through, just to go heat up some food.
Newspaper in the UK, but he's now strongly considering a move to quit NATO altogether. The biggest military alliance in human history is a paper tiger, he said, and Putin knows that too.
Okay, we're going to
jump
jump
in interviews,
ahead.
this is what the
We
former
want
NATO
the debate to start.
stranded. For all the talk of liberation and Trump to the rescue, they'll be living under the same regime, weakened but angrier than ever. Joining me to debate all this, attorney and Iranian-American activist Alec Lebanon, Aaron Mate, the journalist with the Grey Zone, Iranian-Canadian activist...
Ooh, Aaron Mate, brother, a friend of the show, Daniel Mate. We could at this point, we can call Aaron Mate and their dad, Gabor Mate, friend of the show. Can we not?
Iranian-American activist Alec Lebanon, Aaron Mate, the journalist with the Grey Zone, Iranian-Canadian activist and former MP Goldie Gamari, and Anna Kasparian, the host and executive producer.
And what's awesome is that Aaron Mate and Anna Kasparian had beef for the longest time, and then Anna Kasparian actually, and we covered it on stream. Anna Kasparian not too long ago, reached out to Aaron Mate on Twitter. Was like, hey, I was calling you like a pro-Russian chill or something for ages, and I had no proof. I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me. He's like, Anna, it's all cool. We good. So the fact that they're both on this panel together, kind of nice. Kind of nice.
Of the Young Turks. So welcome to all of you. Alec Lebanon, I honestly can't keep up with where we are with this war, other than I read somewhere today, I think Axios reported this, that one of the Trump administration has said Trump isn't playing 3D chess, he's playing 12D chess, and that he basically throws out all these contradictory things because he wants to keep the enemy guessing. Now, maybe that's true, but it might also be, I would offer up as an alternative theory, that he's got himself into something that he quickly has realized is not a good idea. But not because taking out the Iranian regime is not a sound idea in principle, or that they've been an appalling repressive regime, but not a good idea because the Iranians have hit back in a way I think that they've been taken by surprise by the scale of it.
Oh, by the way, shit, I didn't even tell you guys about this. I was a guest on Colonial Outcast, like 4 days ago. If you guys don't know Colonial Outcast, it's this podcast co-hosted by Greg Stoker, who Colonial Outcasts. He's one of the co-hosts of that show. I started following Greg Stoker during the Gaza genocide. This dude loved he's an ex-military. Love his analysis.
All right, y'all. It's almost
was great. He wasn't on the panel, but one of his co-stars, Mark Wayne, was on the panel. There was a lot of really awesome people on there. Also, Suha from travel blog, Safe House Travel Blog. Let me try to find the video. This is the video.
me and G have been discussing over the past,
Yeah, Laith was on there as well. Yep, there's Laith Marouf from Free Palestine TV. Here is Jedi Darwish, Mark Wayne from Colonial Outcast, Abu Ras, Soyasin from Safe House Travel Pod, Assad from Habibi House Pod. Let me move. I'm blocking Assad. He's been trying to do like a collaboration with us for a while. He almost came onto the Fundraiser pod, but he wasn't able to make it. And here's myself. Let me share you guys the link. I'll share the link in the chat. But yeah, go show it some love.
A month.
Very nice panel. I'm in contact with Mark. I'm in contact with Suha to try to have her maybe pop on the show. Mark is trying to get me to join the Panthers. The Panthers, they're like an affiliate to the Black Panthers. They're trying to open like an office here in Lebanon. He's trying to get me to join. Some fun stuff. Here's the link. It was very nice to be a guest. I don't speak that much. I mean, it's at the end, like a lot of people left, so I spoke a bit more, but like I don't contribute that much, but like it's obviously you're there to listen to everyone else and their amazing contributions. So yeah, go show them some love. Subscribe to the channel, Colonial Outcasts. How did I forget to mention this? Okay, back to this.
Economically, by closing the Strait of Hormuz, by attacking the Gulf states, and that the combined effect of this has been a shuddering shock to the global economy. And so Trump wants out, and yet it's very difficult to see how he gets out with a convincing claim of victory. So those are the theories. What's your view?
I mean, at the end of the day, my view from the very beginning, and still my view to this day, is that this operation, whatever it is, has to be seen through to the end, because the worst case scenario is that this war ends and the regime is still in power. That's worse than if the war never happened at all. And so in terms of what I'm here to do, or what Goldie...
Sunk cost fallacy at this point. Well, we've done too much to see it to the end. What does that even mean, see it to the end? Kill? How many Iranians need to die? How many Iranian power plants need to be destroyed? How many Iranian oil refineries need to be destroyed for this to go to the end? What does it even mean? You got to see it through to the end. See what through to the end? What is the objective? They can't even agree on what their objectives are.
Here to do is represent, the sentiments of the Iranian people and how we feel about what these military strikes are doing, which are targeting an oppressive regime that, we all know has been oppressing the Iranian people for 47 years. In terms of the military strategy, that's not really within our purview. The only thing that we can do is trust that the United States government knows what it's doing and has an effective plan to remove this regime.
Okay, but explain this to me. I get that.
Yeah, this lady as well. Yeah, they got two self-hating. This is a good panel. These two fucking Iranian idiots versus Aaron Mate and Anna Kasparian. Again, we know Anna Kasparian is very problematic in a lot of aspects. We know. But when it comes to this, when it comes to Israel, pretty based.
But let me just ask you this. Donald Trump said yesterday that the mission of making it impossible for Iran to develop a nuclear weapon had now been achieved, which seems to be where he's edging now as the sort of totality justification for the action he took. But there's one problem, is that all the enriched uranium remains untouched, underground in Iran. The capacity to develop that into a nuclear weapon remains exactly as it was before this war was started. So I don't understand how Donald Trump, or anybody, frankly, can claim that they have stopped Iran from being able to develop a nuclear weapon when all the tools they need remain exactly where they were before it started.
Well, that's the question that's on everybody's mind, right? The only thing that we've ever asked is for this war to go to completion and for this regime to be removed. It was never in our imagination that you would stop at the point that their nuclear capabilities were decapitated. We were told that the end of this war would be when this regime fell, that uncompromising surrender. That's the only ambition that we were ever told. So I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they killed so much of the leadership, but they just got replaced. So what? Do you want to just keep killing them until they run out of replacements? What is it you expect, you dumb fucking idiot?
About this falling short at just, well,
I'm going to bring the others in. I mean, Anna Kasparian, that's really interesting because, Elek is reflecting what so many people are thinking, which is the goalposts have changed so often. It was early on, this was going to be regime change. And they thought by decapitating the top of the regime and killing the Ayatollah and a lot of the top people, then naturally, and apparently this was what the Israelis told the Americans, there will be uprisings and the regime will topple. None of that has happened. So they've now moved, it seems to me, to a different game plan, which is actually what we meant all along, was degrading their military and stopping them building a nuke. They've done the first, that has to be accepted. They've massively degraded the Iranian military, but they've come nowhere near to stopping them developing a nuclear weapon, if Iran chooses to, because the uranium is still there.
Unfortunately, you have two different countries that are involved in this effort to, I guess, either topple the regime in Iran, which isn't going to happen, or, degrade Iran's military capabilities and ability to build nuclear weapons. For the Israelis, it was never, ever about nuclear weapons. It was never about degrading.
Haley's asking, is her hairline green? The woman in green, is her hairline. She does look like she's doing the, what's his name? The comedian? The H3 comedian? What the fuck is he called? You know? Jimmy Lee. Is she doing the Jimmy Lee? Is she painting on a hairline? Because it looks colored. Her scalp looks colored, literally dyed.
Iran's military capabilities, it was always about regime change for them. But in order to build consent or manufacture consent among the American people for a war that we all knew was going to be a disaster, the American people were fed lies and all sorts of fear-mongering about how Iran is such a threat that we need to get involved and we need to disarm the Iranians. Okay, how is that working out for us? There was no strategic military plan in place. Elika is on the propaganda wing, and she's like, oh, I don't know, it's not my job to think about the military strategy. No, Elika, it is your job to think about military strategy because you're advocating for something that's going to get American soldiers killed. It's going to get innocent civilians killed. In fact, that's happening right now as we speak. And so you should ask yourself, is there really a reliable path here, a militaristic path that's going to secure what I personally want?
I love that people are having all these political debates in like their bathrooms. You know what I mean? Like, Piers Morgan, you can film from anywhere. Just grab your cell phone, sit on the shitter, and let's talk geopolitics. Like, we have no, like, both of these women could literally, as far as we know, all four panelists could be sitting on the shitter right now, and we wouldn't have a single idea. You know what I mean? Anna could be sitting on a toilet seat right now. This lady could be sitting on a toilet right now.
Which is regime change. And honestly, there isn't a path.
Well, there's shaky cam. Looks like this lady holding her phone in her hand. Like, she's like, oh, Piers, that's what I believe. The Iranians data. It's like, what are we doing here? Who's this influencer? You know what I mean? Who's this influencer lady?
There isn't a path. First of all, I don't have a path because I've analyzed the situation and realized that Iran has a formidable military and that we're going to put soldiers in jeopardy by taking them over there. I didn't interrupt you, and you're interrupting me. Why are you interrupting me? Piers, are you going to intervene? Because she's interrupting me when I didn't interrupt her.
Oh, I love this. Piers, you're going to intervene. Hey, Anna, you're the host. You were the host of Her Take. You know how to handle a panel. Come on.
Comment. You shouldn't interrupt each other because we can't hear either of you when you do. So
I appreciate it. It is important to ask yourself, as you're advocating for military action, whether or not that
we can see her chair.
action
Okay, we can spot her chair. She's not on the shitter.
Is going to secure the gains that you're advocating for. And if you looked at the landscape, if you looked at the terrain in Iran, if you looked at what Iran is capable of doing.
I'll be honest, Aaron is the only one that looks like he's not in a toilet because he's sitting the farthest away from the wall. All of them are so close to the wall that you can tell, like, maybe there's a toilet seat because it's attached to the wall. Aaron Mate is sitting like there's distance between him and the wall. So, you know what I mean? This lady's very close to her wall. She could be on the shitter. Anna's very close to the wall. She could be shitting. To be fair, Anna's the one that looks like she's shitting the most. Anna and this one. So those three, the three ladies are on the shitter, apparently. Aaron, he's lucky he got out of this one because he's sitting farthest away from the wall. So that's my analysis on this panel so far.
The fact that they control the Strait of Hormuz, you would think about all these elements before spouting off about getting the United States involved in a war that isn't going to secure what you think it's going to secure. There isn't going to be regime change in Iran. And by the way, I think it's disgusting that we are dragged into a war on behalf of a foreign country that does not plan to put any of their boots on the ground. Not a single IDF soldier is planning to be on the ground.
We have some Zaytun says maybe his toilet seat is in the middle of the bathroom. Miles says he has a long toilet, possibly. Maybe sitting on a bidet. Maybe Aaron is sitting on a bidet, which is sometimes bidets can extend a little bit longer. You know, maybe it's a longer bidet model. Maybe he's just cleaning his crotch. Hey, I don't want to be saying this about Aaron, friend of the show, brother of the legendary Daniel Mate. We love Aaron Mate. We love the Mates in general, okay? But maybe he's just on a bidet.
Really interesting point. Let me bring in Goldie Gamari. Welcome back to Uncensored, because it seems to me, look, I'm not a military expert, but a lot of my family have served.
You don't say, Piers. You're not a military expert?
Level in the British military. And there's only one way to get that enriched uranium and therefore be sure that you can prevent Iran in the future developing a nuclear weapon, because they're very advanced as it is with this uranium. And the only way you can do it is with ground forces. The problem is it's incredibly dangerous, that operation.
AC, right. I did not consider they might be constipated. That is true. Haley says the Mate family is beautiful. They really are. And now that we know Daniel, when I look at Aaron, I just really see a lot of Daniel. Like, they look so much alike. You know what I mean? They have very similar mouth facial structure. When I look at Aaron, I see Daniel.
Because of the terrain there, because of the way you would have to do it, because of the embedded defenses that the Iranians clearly have, the drones they have, and so on. This could very quickly, if America tried to do this, and I think it's perfectly reasonable, Anna, to point out, so far there's no suggestion the IDF will join this, even though it's clear from Marco Rubio's own mouth that America went into this because the Israelis said, we're doing it with or without you.
Yep, we saw her chair. She's not on the toilet. And she has some bookshelves behind her, so it also seems like she's too far away. So Anna is the only one who might still be on the shitter.
If it becomes a ground war, this could become very quickly disastrous. I mean, do you accept there's that risk here?
There's always a risk in everything that happens, but I mean, ultimately, we're dealing with the most powerful military in the world, the U.S. military. Their intelligence is top notch. President Trump himself has said that the reason.
Oh, she has an Israeli flag and an American flag. This is fucking insane. So yeah, unless she has one of those long toilets as well or a long bidet, she's also not on the toilet.
That he decided to begin this as he calls it, an excursion into Iran is not because of Israel, it's because he assessed the threats to the United States. And, obviously the commander-in-chief of the United States of America has way more intelligence information than, just random podcasters on YouTube. So, I trust President Trump. I trust his analysis. And Pete Hegseth has also said that the vast majority of the Islamic regimes.
That's your first mistake. I trust President Trump and his analysis, and I trust Pete Hegseth. You just khalas, opinion rejected. Anything you say is meaningless going forward.
Ground forces, it has been destroyed. Their drones, their missiles, everything. So the only thing that's really left of the Islamic regime is just their paramilitary forces. In fact, they're so weak.
Drones are not gone. They're still fucking slamming Dubai. They're still slamming the whole Arab region. They're still taking out Israeli targets. What U.S. bases? What are you talking about, lady?
That they're now not only bringing militia groups from Iraq, but they're now actually conscripting 12-year-old children, which is a war crime. So the Islamic regime is now using children to fight.
But if they're that weak, all right, let's take for a moment.
Okay, is this even fucking true? Is Iran recruiting 12-year-old kids? I can't even look it up here because they're going to say yes. What am I going to look? American media? Iran 12-year-old army. The fuck? Yeah, of course. Amnesty International. Iran recruitment of child soldiers as young as 12 years old amounts to a war crime. Are they really? Just like, I mean, if they are doing it, it is fucked. BBC. Iran using children in security roles in war, reports and witnesses say. Guys, this is just like a kid who's like his dad dressed him up. I don't think this guy is officially a soldier. Are you fucking kidding me? These people have not been to like a Middle Eastern country, okay? We make kids dress up in crazy ass ways. Iranian authorities are trampling upon children's rights and committing grave violation. Okay, where's the proof? Deputy Muhammad Assoud announced that a recruitment campaign called the Homeland Defending Commands for Iran is open to volunteers aged 12 and above, encouraging registrations at Basij bases in Moscow and Tehran to join combatants defending the homeland. Eyewitnesses' accounts and verified audio-visual evidence showed child soldiers have been deployed at IRGC checkpoints and patrols armed with weapons, including AK-47 rifles. Haley D says, Jimmy Lee's daughter, Jenny Lee, everyone. That would be so funny if that was Jimmy Lee's daughter. Okay, I need more evidence about this. I gotta see the fucking picture. What is happening here? We got really kids? Maybe it's part of like an after-school program, okay?
Premise that they've been almost obliterated, which I keep hearing.
Haley, thank you for the donut.
But from where I'm looking, the regime has not been displaced. I mean, Donald Trump this morning put out a new post on Truth Social saying Iran's new president, much less radicalized and far more intelligent than his predecessors, has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. We will consider when the Hamas...
Look at that lady's... Dude. She's like fixing her hair. Look at the face she made.
Displaced. I mean, Donald Trump this morning put out a new post on Truth Social saying Iran's new president, much less radicalized and far more intelligent than his predecessors, has just asked the United States of America for a ceasefire. We will consider when the Hormuz Strait is open, free and clear. Until then, we're blazing Iran into oblivion, or as they say, back to the Stone Ages. His usual hyperbolic rhetoric. But we don't know who he's talking about, by the way, because no one's come forward from the Iranian side to say...
Yeah, Miles Murphy says American military tried to recruit people at schools. Yeah, we had Sean the Black telling us how they tried to get him out of his high school to join the military.
Yes, that's me, and we are talking to the Americans.
And Piers, I think that's actually very funny because as far as we knew, the president was Pezeshkian. If President Trump is saying that there's a new president, does that mean Pezeshkian has been obliterated?
Well, that's why I said, we don't know who this guy is. We don't know that he's much...
It's a whole pipeline of kids to military called ROTC. Yeah. Junior Reserve Officers Training Corps is a high school program, grades 9 to 12, focused on citizenship, leadership, and discipline, not military recruitment. While it introduces military structure, students have no obligation to serve. It offers benefits like higher enlistment rank. I mean, looks like military to me. You know? They're dressed up like soldiers. Folks, one moment. I'll be right back. Sweet little babies are napping on my bed. Okay.
So it's radicalized because we've no idea who it is, or that he's more intelligent than his predecessors. It could just be Trump playing games, trying to divide and rule with the IRGC. That's highly likely, I would think. And maybe that's an effective tactic. Maybe that's an effective tactic. We shall see. You know, with all these things, once a war starts, it's very, very difficult to predict how this plays out. But what I would say about the strength of the American military is there's been an asymmetric war going on here. And I'll bring Aaron in here. You know, the asymmetric war is that you've got the American and Israeli combined incredibly powerful military, the most powerful military we've ever seen in this planet.
Victoria, I am in a t-shirt. I'm kind of hot. I'm show up. My body it's kind of warm here. Also, I just lit up a cigarette, guys, because I'm kind of getting hungry, and I don't know why I feel this might help me.
Waging merry hell across the skies of Tehran, but at the same time, the Iranians, like I said earlier, very skillfully and with great cunning, it has to be said, doing a very effective job in economically strangling the world through the Strait of Hormuz, and also strangling the economies of the Gulf states, its neighbors, by attacking refineries, by attacking tourist areas, and so on.
And strangling babies because they're Muslims.
Been very effective. I think far more effective than the Americans and Israelis thought may happen. So you've got two wars going on here, and my guess is because of the pain that's happening at the gas station prices, food prices to come because fertilizer's been shut and so on, you know, you're going to see a lot of fallout from this all summer. You've got the midterm elections in America in November. You know, Donald Trump is many things, but he's not politically stupid. He will know that they could take an absolute beating in the midterms and render him a lame duck if he doesn't do something to resolve where he is right now. I think he wants out, which is why he keeps talking about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm gone, and whatever. What do you feel?
I think his foremost concern right now is calming the markets. And that's why he keeps saying that he's having these great talks and they're getting somewhere and he's going to wrap this up really soon. I can't divine what's in his head anymore. I used to think he had smart political instincts, but I think going to war against Iran in a completely unjust, unprovoked fashion has blown up that impression for me. And there's a debate going on right now that we're having about whether or not the Trump-Netanyahu war in Iran is effective. I think we're missing a more fundamental question. Is it right? Is it just? And the fact that Iran is waging asymmetrical warfare underscores a really important point. It's the weaker party militarily, which underscores it's not a threat to anyone. Trump went to war because Iran acts as a deterrent to U.S. and Israeli hegemony in the region. That's not a threat to anyone's security. It's a threat to domination. And that's why Iran is being subjected to these attacks. And it's whether or not Trump can achieve his goals or not, it doesn't obscure the fact that it's fundamentally illegal. Under the standards of the Nuremberg trials, aggression is the supreme international crime. That is what Trump undertook here. Even his own intelligence agencies affirmed a year ago, and this hasn't changed, that Iran did not have a nuclear weapons program. It limited its missile ranges. At best, they said by 2035.
Okay, but hang on that point, because we do know they were clearly lying about the capacity of their missiles, right? They fired a missile only last week, which went twice as far, a ballistic missile, twice as far as they had said that their missiles were capable of going. It didn't actually land on its target, but the distance it travelled would mean it could potentially get to Europe. It could get to London, to Paris, whatever. That is in direct contradiction to the undertakings Iran had given.
Quickly, sorry, I just got a text saying that there were big explosions in Beirut. Is anyone here in chat? Did anyone hear anything? Oh, this guy needs to fucking stop, bro. This fucking guy. Someone shared Beirut streets, Lebanon. Beautiful. I can't wait to visit when there is peace in your fucking dreams, bro. "49 minutes breaking. Israel has reportedly threatened the town of Kfar Hatta, Sidon district, home to thousands of displaced people. One of its schools alone shelters around 500 people. It would be a massacre. People are fleeing for their lives." Oh, did they hit Sidon? People are fleeing right now.
يلا كله فال كله عم بفال.
Sonic Boom Victoria? Okay. Marina says I
يلا
heard a
كله
strike.
فال كله عم بفال.
I'm just monitoring the situation a little bit on Twitter, because usually we get the quickest updates here. Here's an Israeli tank being taken out by Hezbollah. We can't play the music because we'll get blocked. Bang! And here, it's a second drone going after a second Israeli tank. Get him. Get him. Whang! Okay.
About the distances its missiles could go. So they've clearly been lying.
Well, not necessarily, because first of all, even NATO said we can't confirm that Iran fired that missile. So I'm not even sure that it was Iran. But let's say it was Iran. If it was Iran, then it's quite possible they put on.
Well, who else fired it?
Well, listen, I wouldn't put anything past Israel. They carry out all sorts of nefarious acts all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a false flag. But listen, let's assume it was Iran.
Well, hang on, Aaron. You're expecting me to believe that Israel deliberately fired a ballistic missile at an American base.
Yeah, that happens. That happens. Believe it or not, that has happened in the past.
Yeah, Israel decades ago attacked the USS Liberty, killed a bunch of US soldiers. So actually, I wouldn't put it past them. Listen, let's assume it was Iran. Let's assume it was Iran. Just hold on a second. I'll just finish this point.
Is it possible?
If it was Iran, if I can finish this point, it's possible they put a smaller payload on the missile, which means it can travel further. And regardless, look, this whole debate is skewed because Iran is defending itself against an act of unprovoked aggression, an act that is not targeting the quote-unquote regime. It's hitting schools. They massacred over 150 girls in the opening hours of this unprovoked war. They're hitting pharmaceutical plants that make medicines for Iranians.
On this point,
they're hitting residential buildings.
Yeah, but Aaron, the idea. Okay, but look, I have serious misgivings about this war and have done from the start. I do not think that Iran had an imminent capacity to have a nuclear weapon or to use one. I think that is nonsense, and also flies completely in the face of what we were told after the 12-day war last summer. We were told.
Yeah, Anna's killing it here, and they have. The Israelis did murder a whole bunch of Americans a long time ago, and they never spoke of it. The event that Aaron is talking about.
Whole capacity of being destroyed anyway. So none of that makes any sense to me. But the idea that Iran had never provoked either Israel or the United States, I mean, that is also patently disingenuous because Iran for the last...
Here. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, the USS Liberty incident, maybe we should watch a video about it. Let me see. Let's do some history here. A little Chris Kunzler moment. When Israel attacked, so forgotten history, 18 minutes. This is from Forgotten History. When Israel attacked the USA, Forgotten History.
On June 6, 1967, Israeli Air Force fighters attacked Egyptian air bases, destroying 80% of their air assets. By June 7th, the air forces of Jordan and Syria were also destroyed, mostly on the ground. But the war was being monitored. The United States and other nations had a vested interest in what was transpiring in the Middle East, and gathering intelligence was critical for both political and strategic military planning. What was the USS Liberty? Why was it in the eastern Mediterranean Sea during the Six-Day War? Why did Israeli air and naval forces attack an American ship? Why was so much effort put into the cover-up after the event? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, a veteran of the United
States. They covered it up, so we're not going to have time to read the whole thing, but let's read the... Didn't I bring the... Here. USS Liberty incident. The USS Liberty incident was an attack on a United States Navy technical research ship by Israeli Air Force jet fighter aircraft and Israeli Navy motor torpedo boats on 8 June 1967 during the Six-Day War. The attack killed 34 crew members, naval officers, seamen, 2 Marines, and 1 civilian NSA employee. Wounded 171 crew members and severely damaged the ship. Both the Israeli and United States governments conducted inquiries and issued reports that concluded the attack was a mistake due to Israeli confusion about the ship's identity. The combined air and sea attack lasted 23 minutes and was carried out by air strafing and napalm bombing by 4 Mirage 3 and Super Mystère fighters and gunfire and torpedo launches from the motorboats, one of which impacted the ship. Israeli forces terminated their attack after the torpedo impact, believing the ship to be sinking. So, yeah. Anyways, whoop. These are just our links.
Few decades has systematically waged a campaign of terror through the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and other proxies against Israel. Ayatollah has led the chants of death to America, death to Americans. They have killed, I think, more Americans than any other nation in the world, right, in the last 47 years. So this idea that this has all happened out of nowhere, you know, I just think is disingenuous.
I think the fundamental problem in the region is that you have an Israeli government that gives itself the right to displace the indigenous Palestinians, steal their land, and deny them a homeland. And Iran, on that question, has been far more accommodating than Israel and the U.S. have in terms of accepting the international framework for the Israel-Palestine issue. Iran has said that they would support the Arab Peace Initiative, which offered Israel full normalization if it allowed Palestinians to have a state in just 22% of historic Palestine. Iran has cooperated with the U.S. in the past. You mentioned earlier that Trump's turning his back on NATO, and NATO helped the U.S. in Afghanistan.
It's the Mates, bro. The Mates. That's why you get Aaron Mate on your fucking panel, to drop some fucking knowledge.
So did Iran. Iran provided critical intelligence to the U.S. that helped the U.S. capture fighters from Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. And that was blown up when George W. Bush gave a speech declaring Iran to be a part of the axis of evil. The U.S. Ambassador Ryan Crocker said that seriously undermined Iran's cooperation, which was very, very fruitful. And there have been so many more diplomatic initiatives since. Iran sent Bush a letter offering to resolve all these issues. Bush ignored it. There was the Iran nuclear deal, which even Trump's own administration certified that Iran was complying with.
And what about the slaughter of thousands of protesters, including many completely innocent civilians on the streets of Iran in January, for example? Because the noise from the left, I have to say, was pretty... I'm not accusing you, and I don't know what you both said about it at the time. You can enlighten me. But there was a definite...
Oh, I'll tell you what I said.
Well, hang on. There was a
Don't speak for me. Don't put words in my mouth.
No, I actually remember very well.
Sorry, I'm actually talking...
You don't know what I had to say about it.
30,000 people were killed. I heard it from your mouth.
Okay.
There's no evidence that 30,000 people were killed. Show me the evidence.
There it is.
There it is.
How many do you think were killed?
Where's the evidence, Elika? Where's the
You want me to tell you?
What's
you
the
want me to
source?
tell?
You know, she's doing, where's the evidence, Elika? She's doing the same thing as she did with Mindy. Okay, Mindy. What do you mean? Or was it Lindy? Lindy?
There it is. There it is.
How many do you think were killed?
Where's the evidence, Elika? Where's
You
the
want me to
evidence?
tell?
Where's the evidence, Elika? Dude, this is why we miss her take.
There it is.
How many do you think were killed?
Where's the evidence, Elika? Where's the
You want me to tell you?
What's
you
the
want me to
source?
tell you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can tell you the source. I can tell you the source because how quickly you believe in terrorist regime, but you don't believe.
Just give me the source. I don't need to.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. Violence, and I'm going to tell you every single hospital in every single city in Iran gave a tally of how many corpses were in their beds. In total, that amounted to 36,500 people, and that didn't include the
What
people
is
that
your
were
source? What source compiled those numbers?
The hospitals.
Every hospital? Okay, so you
Every
yourself talked to every single hospital?
I saw the list. I saw the
What's
list of
the
every
source?
hospital with every number.
You saw the list.
Google it.
Who
Google
published
it.
the list? Who published
It's
the list?
everywhere. Human rights organizations.
You should know the source. You should memorize that. If you're so heated about
I'm
this
telling
issue.
you.
But,
should
you know
memorize
what's
that.
interesting? Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I just want to know how the Iranian government murdered 40,000 people in like 2 days. Did they just like machine gun them? Did they just walk around the streets of Tehran with machine guns, like pop, 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 just like gunning people down? How do you murder 40,000 people? And how is there no footage of this? How is there no footage of this massacre, of these massacres? You know, the massacres in Gaza, hey, they're all filmed.
You know what's interesting, Anna? Yeah, you're having
Yes,
the
go
complete
ahead.
reverse. You're having the complete reverse.
No, I'm not.
Well,
I'm not.
okay, I'm going to
not.
explain. We haven't
The
heard
New
my-
York Times just published a piece on
You
this
haven't
that I
heard
hope
my
you
question
read.
yet.
That I hope you read.
You haven't
Go
heard my
ahead.
question yet.
Right. You care about the deaths in Palestine, but
No,
you don't
no,
care about
not
the
that,
Iranian
not
people.
that.
I do care about the Iranian
You
people.
got utterly-
Unfortunately,
you got,
they've
hang
been...
on. You got utterly
Go ahead.
enraged when people questioned the number of people who'd been killed in Gaza, rightly, because it turned out those numbers were broadly
Correct.
accurate, have now been admitted by Israel. And yet here you are doing exactly what so many Israeli guests did on this show about the deaths in Gaza. You're just refusing to believe any of the numbers coming out of things. So my question for you would be, well, if it wasn't 30,000, then how many do you think were killed?
I don't know. I don't know
So how
exactly
do you know it wasn't
many people were
30,000?
killed. Hold on. Let me
Well,
explain.
sorry, hang on.
Elika,
Sorry,
let me make
again,
my point.
Anna,
If you're going to ask a
Anna,
question, let me
Anna,
answer it. Let me answer
I am
the
moderating
question.
this. Anna,
I
so
know,
my
but
point
let me
being,
answer the
my
question.
point being, the very question that I used to ask all the Israeli guests who would try and cast
I know.
aspersions
I know.
is the same
Let me
question I put
explain
to
myself.
you. It's the same question to you, which is, if you don't know, how do you...
Victoria says, if they were murdered, why the hospital? Listen, if the murdered people that are dead are known to get hospital beds. You know what I mean? You put them in the hospital bed first, and you're like, well, this person's dead.
No, it wasn't 30,000.
Okay, let me explain it, okay?
You don't know.
No, Piers, let me explain it. Okay, when it comes to Gaza, The Gaza Health Ministry, historically, you look at the history, they have historically been accurate and very careful when they publish death tolls. Okay, they're always confirmed. In fact, oftentimes they're an underestimate. So I know to trust the Gaza Health Ministry because of its history of publishing accurate data. In the case of Iran, we know a few things. We know because so many American former government officials and current government officials and the Israeli media were literally bragging about putting Mossad on the ground, arming people. And that's why so many of the law enforcement or police officers, security forces in Iran were also killed. Okay, there's a lot of disinformation coming out, and there are different sources publishing different information about the death toll, which is why I don't know. I have not found a source that I fully trust
and yet you
that's
are
giving me accurate data.
No, but Anna, again, I would use the same questioning I did to people about Gaza.
How many of them were killed by Mossad operatives? How many of them were actually killed by
I'm not asking you that.
governments?
I'm simply saying once you've admitted you have no idea how many were killed, I find
Miles Murphy says that Iran says it's 3,700. They have names and they are documented.
Extraordinary that you would be so emphatic in refuting the 30,000 number. You don't know.
If you're watching live, like the stream, y'all. Don't forget to like the stream.
You think 30,000 people were slaughtered in 1 week?
I think it could easily have happened from the scenes that I was looking at. Yes.
I don't.
Okay, you don't believe it. Okay, but
I don't believe it.
Given that you've admitted you don't know, you don't know. Let me come back to Elika. You know, I have noticed there has been I think there has been a double standard here from people on the left who I respect, where they seem to care an awful lot more about Palestinians being killed in Gaza, which I also shared their care about, and
because the West is using the 30,000 or 40,000 dead protesters as an excuse to bomb the living fuck out of Tehran, to bomb the living fuck out of Iran, to start a war there. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they're doing, and it worked. They used that to start manufacturing consent, and then look, we need to go liberate the people of Iran because they're murdering 40,000 people in the streets. That's the problem with it.
The protesters killed in Tehran at the start of the year, and it was deafening. It was deafening. And Hollywood was deafening by its silence too. And I just think that's another thing that is just wrong about this. It's intellectually dishonest of people, right? To pick and choose which
You know what's
innocent
dishonest,
people.
Pierce? The fact that Iranians are getting killed right now. Civilians are getting targeted right now. This war began, okay, with 175 people getting slaughtered at an elementary school? Elika, you got anything to say about that? Do your people feel liberated?
Yeah, I do,
You don't live in Iran? You've never lived in Iran. And you have the audacity to talk about this as if it's the liberation of the Iranian people as they're getting killed, as their hospitals are being
I've visited many times for 2-3 days. I've visited my homeland.
As healthcare workers are being killed. Disgusting.
All right. Let Elika respond. Let Elika respond.
I'm not going to shut up.
Well, you let her respond because you asked me to stop her interrupting you. So I'm now saying to you,
okay,
Anna,
go ahead, Elika.
let her speak.
Please go ahead.
When you talk about the Hamas,
it's fine when Donald Trump and Netanyahu killed children, but when the Iranians, and again, I support the Iranian people in their protests against their government. I support the Iranian people when they rise up against their government. I do not support foreign intervention. I do not support Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu claiming to wanting to liberate the Iranian people when you look at their track record. So no, I'm sorry. Lesser of two evils. The Iranian government you claim is evil. Okay, it is less evil than the Israeli government and the American government. So I'm always going to have that point of view. I'm sorry.
The health ministry, you say their numbers have historically been accurate.
I want the Iranian people to replace their own government. I want them to do it themselves, even if it takes them 10, 100 more years. It is better for them to do it themselves than to rely on fucking America and Israel and destabilize the entire fucking region.
Well, did they ever
You're
separate
discussing.
Oh, good. Insults. That's good. Did they ever separate civilians from combatants? They didn't. And in the end, we discovered that that number did include many combatants. Okay.
The IDF
that's
did,
the first
actually.
Thing.
We know their numbers.
Correct. That's good.
83%
right?
civilians.
Okay. Are you going to interrupt?
83%.
Are you going to interrupt? Actually, Hamas said that 50,000 of them were combatants. Regardless, you are quick to trust the Hamas-run health ministry, which just shows who you trust, right? Which is terrorist regimes. Second of all, you sat there just right now and said 178 school children were killed. First of all, you said nothing about the hundreds of children that were killed on January 8th and January 9th by the regime. And second of all, where did you get that number from? The only people who have confirmed that number is the regime. And that just goes to show.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
are you denying that
even the American government confirmed that kids died and they were like investigating what happened? Like, what the fuck? Even the American government, when asked about it, and it's been proven that they're the ones who bombed it.
No,
people were slaughtered in that school. Are you denying it? Are you denying it?
Let me finish my point.
Because you did deny that it was the US Israelis that did that.
Are you going to let me finish my point? There absolutely were children killed in that strike. How many? We don't know, because the only people who have confirmed it is the regime.
Yeah, but again, Elika, okay, well, now let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
So that's it. Not a single number or death toll that comes out of Iran could be trusted because it's by the regime. That's it. I want an independent random doctor to tell me how many people died. Listen, you're going to get your information from the Iranian government. And that's what they do again. They're doing it in Lebanon as well. Hamas-run health agency. Regime-run Iranian health agency. We don't believe what they say. Now, even in Lebanon, when our official health ministry here reports numbers, well, we don't believe them because they're not telling us how many of them are Hezbollah militants. So we don't really know. Khalas, they don't trust anything. Some brown people dead, to them, it's worthless. 10,000 dead brown people equals one white person.
Jump in there, because you're now doing exactly. Sorry,
I'm not.
You're now.
If you let me, Piers, if you let me finish my point,
we know how many children were killed. We know how many were at the school.
That's not what I'm saying. Piers, let me finish my point, and you'll see what I'm saying. Okay, I'm not saying what's real, and I'm not saying what's not real. Here is the point that I'm making. When the people, okay, tell you something, doctors.
God. James Holmes sends a £2 dono. It says, any update on your cracked toilet seat? When's the last time you were here, James? Yeah, I ended up sucking it up and I paid for a new toilet seat. I bought the extra expensive one, the super thick, like wooden one, not whatever fucking plaster shit. So I got it in an off-white color. So the rest of my toilet seat is white, but the toilet seat is like a little off-white. Looks nice. It's very heavy as fuck, heavy duty. I sucked it up. I paid for a new one. What can you do? And I never got a free one. Never got, not even an apology from Murex. What was their name? Fuck, what was their name? Not Murex. Lessico, those fuckers.
Witnesses, eyewitnesses on the ground tell you something, okay? It is questioned. When the regime says something, it is believed. So what I'm saying is that I'm pointing out to the hypocrisy of how easily they believe regimes, which they might be true. It might be true.
Yeah, but you know, the trouble is, again, you're both basically casting doubt over the death toll numbers.
It's not about casting doubt.
You're both casting doubt over the death toll numbers of the other side. And that's my point about intellectual dishonesty. I don't think it's honest to do that. I mean, in relation to the attack on the school, it's pretty obvious to anybody what has happened there.
We know that people were. We know
why. It used to be. Let me finish my point, please. It used to be part of an IRGC compound. Then it was moved out several years ago to be just outside the compound. I suspect they clearly deliberately attacked the compound, and the missile was slightly off and hit the school and killed over 160, 70 young schoolgirls at school. It was a disgusting thing to happen. And what America should have done, what President Trump should have done, is just immediately had the investigation, concluded it immediately. They know if one of their missiles hit that school or not. They knew immediately. And they should just say, we made a terrible mistake. We were aiming for the compound next to it. We hit the school. Terrible things.
Please forgive us. Now let's keep bombing your country. There's no way. There's nothing you can say to make that okay, though. I'm sorry. Like, we killed 100. Like, the only appropriate response is, you know what? We're going to stop this fucking thing. We made a terrible error. We're going to stop every single bomb. We're fucking going home. We're turning around and we're going home. War's over. That's the only appropriate response. And we're going to pay reparations. $1 million for every toe of every child that we hurt.
Happen in war. Terrible mistakes happen in war. We are owning this mistake. I would respect any country that says that when that kind of thing happens enormously more than I respect the obfuscating and disingenuous bullshit we've heard about the attack on that school. Right?
Absolutely, but Piers, that's not the point. The point is that how quickly people run with numbers provided by a regime that historically does nothing but disseminate propaganda, and how quickly they question the words of the witnesses of people who have seen this massacre on the ground. That shows you who they defer to, and that is what's worrying.
Okay, let's just
make a point here. The government published a list of people that it says were killed during those protests. If people think that list is false, what they can do is
they're either alive or dead.
There has been.
You know what? They're either alive or dead, and it will be verified. And my guess is that many thousands were killed. Exactly how many thousands, I don't know. I'm intellectually honest enough to say I don't know. But I certainly because I don't know, I'm not in a position to emphatically deny any figure because I don't know. Let's just turn. I want to turn to another. Hang on. Listen, we're running out of time.
Because those numbers are ridiculous.
I want to turn.
Those numbers are ridiculous.
I want to turn to another.
So it went from 30,000 to 40,000.
All right, we've done the ridiculous numbers. All right, stop talking, please.
Because you're
I want to change the subject and bring Aaron in here. All right, Aaron, I want to talk about this extraordinary thing yesterday where Israel's parliament approved a law that would make the death penalty the default sentence for Palestinians convicted of what they regard as deadly terror.
There's a universe where Anna and Alika are great friends in another world, you know what I mean?
The legislation was pushed by the far right with Ben-Gvir, the National Security Minister, its driving force after the vote. And I found this particularly...
Good night, Marina. Thank you for being here.
...sickening. He was seen opening bottles of champagne and celebrating, posting on X, we made history, we promised, we delivered. And, you know, I just found this, I have to be honest, completely repellent. I find Ben-Gvir and Smodrich repellent anyway. I think they are unbelievably far right. I think they have dragged Israel into very dark places, this Israeli government. And I think that this is indicative of what I mean by that. The death penalty has existed but not been used in Israel for decades. They're bringing it back only for Palestinians who they deem guilty of terrorism. Some will have committed acts of terror. Others are furiously disputed by the Palestinian side. So it's an arguable point. And we'll have to see who they decide they're going to kill. You know, Ben-Gvir and others were wearing nooses as badge lapels on their suit. It was sickening. But also, you know,
these are the people that are trying to liberate Iran, you stupid idiot.
They're saying it won't apply to Israelis, right? So you won't have Israelis being killed under this new law in Israel, because, of course, they're not going to convict any of their own for any act of terrorism, even though many other people view a lot of the behaviour by some of the more rogue elements of the IDF to be acts of terrorism. So there's a terrible double standard there, which, and the way the Ben-Gvir and others have been celebrating it is sickening for anybody, right? Whoever you are. What's your view of this?
Yeah, and this is the government that working class American soldiers are being forced to die for. Nobody signed up to defend this fanatical Jewish supremacist state, but yet this is what people are being sent off to West Asia to defend and to die on behalf of. And as Anna pointed out, the Israeli military won't even be sending its own ground forces if there is a ground invasion of Iran. This is what the Israeli government is. People like to think there was maybe an earlier time when the Israeli government was more liberal and things have gone the wrong way. Well, when you found your country on ethnic cleansing, when you claim that there's a divine right to steal land from somebody else, when you establish an apartheid regime that privileges one group, Jews, over another, Palestinians, this is what is going to happen. This is the inevitable result of Zionism. And it's what so many people around the world now are waking up to as being just incompatible with any basic standards of humanity. But yet we're constantly told by all of our leaders that Israel is a top ally, they share our values. Well, these aren't my...
Oh, Jay, they've been debating basically if the war in Iran is justified, if the Iranian government actually did slaughter 40,000 protesters in 2 days, essentially, and now they're talking about the death sentence for Palestinians in Israel.
Values, and these aren't the values, I think, of most decent-minded people. So what you're seeing now, I think, because of Israel's actions, and it's not just, it goes far beyond this measure. We've just seen more than 2 years of a mass murder campaign against the defenseless civilian population in Gaza, which is ongoing.
Jay is asking, why is the second to last woman perpetually serving face tests? It's because it's all she can do. It's all she knows how to do. She's been doing the duck face on her camera for 15 minutes, and she has nothing to say, and Piers has nothing to ask her, so she's literally just there to like stare at the camera.
And also, you're seeing concurrent acts of terror every single day by Jewish settlers backed by Israeli soldiers in the occupied West Bank. People are waking up against this, and global opinion.
Yeah, look, I would agree with you. I would agree with you on the settler point. I think there's been some outrageous aggression by Israeli settlers against Palestinians in the last few months. I would take issue again just with the way you characterise the defenseless civilians in Gaza. Of course, they're surrounded by Hamas terrorists who committed one of the worst acts of terrorism in modern times on October the 7th and are still embedded all around civilians and have been from the start of this war. So they're not, if you're being honest again about what's happening in Gaza, they're not defenseless. I think it's gone way too far what's happened in Gaza. I think the initial defense I made of Israel's right to defend itself, its duty to defend itself and its population, has been just desecrated by the scale of what has gone on there. And the fact they still won't let journalists in to verify what has gone on there says everything to me. It says they know what they've done does not live up to their claim to be the most moral army in the world. They've done stuff so bad, they won't let journalists in to look at it. And so, that's my view about it. But I think the idea that no one has been there armed in Gaza, able to fire back. Obviously, they have. That's what Hamas have been doing.
I didn't say they couldn't fire back. I said they can't defend themselves from one of the most sophisticated armies in the world, dropping 2,000-pound bombs on residential areas and destroying.
No, I get that. But the truth is that war went on for a long time because actually there was a lot coming back the other way too, right? So I agree with you. I don't disagree with your overall point. It's just language is quite important. Let me bring in.
I agree.
Let me bring in Goldie. I want to bring in Goldie on this point. Goldie, you can defend Israel's government and so on. I hate the way people conflate the actions of the government with Israeli people or Jewish people. To me, it's a ridiculous thing to do. It's anti-Semitic to hold the Israeli government to account whether they're this right-wing and doing such terrible things. When I looked at what Ben-Gvir was doing there, right there, I think I posted this on X. This is despicable. Despicable to see a senior government minister of any supposedly civilized country cracking the champagne open at the thought of killing people. Whatever your argument about the people that they're going to put to death, wearing nooses on the thing that they've gone back hundreds of years into the Wild West. This is wrong, isn't it? Can you condemn this?
I mean, my understanding of this law is that it is limited to Palestinians and Hamas terrorists who were specifically involved in the October 7 attacks. So this is basically a law that's only for that particular incident. With respect to...
she's so trusting of the Israeli government, of course, because the Israeli government blames literal children 6-year-old kids that throw stones at them, accuse them of terrorism. So this lady's she just doesn't give a fuck. Well, I mean, if the Israeli government said they're committing terrorism, that means it's good enough for me, right, Piers? I mean, they're only going to do it for the ones that did the October 7th attack and for terrorists, right? So if Israel claims that they're terrorists, that means it's good enough for me. Just like they claim that they're military bases under all hospitals, all schools. If they say someone's a terrorist, they're a terrorist.
Internal Israeli politics. I mean, I don't really comment on internal politics. Not really my thing. I mean, I do for Iran. So. Yeah, because I'm Iranian. Of course I comment on Iran. I'm Iranian.
Okay, well, you're not American, so why are you trying to drag America into wars that you want America to fight?
Why are you commenting on Iran? You're not Iranian.
Okay, then how about you leave America out of it? You want to comment on Iran, that's fine, but demanding that American soldiers die on behalf of your little agenda is a little disrespectful, isn't it?
I think it's absolutely insane that you think that I have anything to do with President Trump's decision to go in and destroy the Islamic regime. I think you're absolutely insane.
I mean, he takes counsel from the likes of Laura Loomer, so you never know. You never know.
I have nothing else
I'd actually like to go back to someone who has things of substance to say.
I will come to you about this issue, but I just want to finish one point with Goldie. It's not true that this only applies to Palestinians who were involved in October the 7th. It doesn't. So that's not.
If that's the case, then I mean, as a former parliamentarian, I probably wouldn't be, sipping champagne and celebrating. I think, it's a very grave.
Well, especially a law that only applies to one ethnic group.
What happened to Alika? Why did she leave?
So, I mean, I would not.
Right, but it only applies to one ethnic group, right? I mean, how can that be remotely acceptable to anybody?
Did she get kicked from the call? Didn't even say bye to her.
I'd have to go look at. I'd have to go look at that legislation. But ultimately, I mean, this is what they voted for. So it's their internal affairs and their sovereign state. And
and you know what? They're perfectly entitled to call it.
After what happened on October 7th, I can see why there's a lot of passion around this situation.
Okay, Alec has dropped off. I don't know why. I wish people wouldn't do that, or at least say they're going to do it. Oh, it's technical issues. All right, I hope it was. Anna,
may I jump in? Thank you, Piers.
Final point to you.
I appreciate that. So, look, in regard to that law that just passed in Israel, it isn't just the fact that it goes along with the existing apartheid state of Israel, where Palestinians are treated as subhumans. It's also the fact that Palestinians are tried in these kangaroo courts, basically military courts, that have a 96% conviction rate. And often...
Chris sends a super chat for the ages, says a sharmuta comes in every shade of plastic surgery. God damn. That's poetry right there. Thank you for the dono, Chris.
And these so-called admissions of guilt are secured under duress, under torture. And so a lot of innocent people are going to be hanged. And that's the whole point of the law that just passed. That's why the terrorists...
Yep, exactly. If you think they're actually going after October the 7th terrorists, you're fucking insane. They're going to use this to murder every single Palestinian that is an inconvenience to them. They want to clear out some room in the prisons to imprison 5,000 more Palestinians. Let's just murder them all. They're all terrorists. They're all plotting to kill us.
Within the Knesset, the Ben Gavirs, the Bezalel Smotrich.
Yep, the chick left, Irene, she left. Talika just hopped off.
They were celebrating specifically because of the fact that they know that they're going to have some legal path to justify the slaughter of more innocent Palestinian individuals. That's what's going on. And can we just have Aaron say one last thing? Because Aaron's reporting on what happened to a toddler, a Palestinian toddler, who was detained alongside his father in central Gaza is something that people really need to know about. Aaron, can you just briefly talk about that? Because I want people to know about what's going on.
Hannah, you're giving me too much credit because I haven't really done anything on this, but I do know the basic fact that there was a toddler.
Look, I love this new partnership. Aaron and Monte used to fucking hate each other just a couple years ago. Now they've joined forces because of the genocide, because of Israel being so despicable. Look at that. Now you're giving me too much credit on it. They went from hating each other to, look at this, tag teaming these fucking stupid Iranian diaspora evil goons.
Seized in central Gaza along with his father, and he came back with burn marks. And the doctor says
the last report I saw about this. Sorry, the last thing I said was that was erroneous, that reporting, and it was denied, and then the verified reporting came back. I think that it was not true.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that, but what I saw
we'll look into it. My understanding is
Israel slaughtered thousands of Palestinian children. The Washington Post
we're moving into a different
list of.
Okay, we're moving into a different.
I'm saying this is totally.
I wish you guys cared this much about.
I don't want to move into other more general arguments about it.
You do care. They're getting slaughtered right now. They're getting slaughtered right now. They're getting slaughtered right now. Right now. Okay, because of what you want. Because of what you want. Because of what you want. You're disgusting.
It shouldn't be mandatory.
I love Anna's passion. No, it's true. This fucking lady fucking sits there, talks about dead Iranians while Iranians are literally being killed right now, just like what Anna said, like, you stupid fucking idiot. Just like these Lebanese people complaining, well, I mean, Hezbollah's not hurting you right now. Israel has literally killed 1,300 Lebanese people, over 130 children, yet they don't have a single word to condemn Israel. They only condemn Hezbollah. Is Hezbollah killing your children? Hezbollah bombing Christian towns? Did Hezbollah double tap a priest? Did Hezbollah kill a Christian father and his kid? Did Hezbollah run over a statue of St. George? It's all Israel, but people only want to complain about Hezbollah.
That in the last 3 minutes of every uncensored debate a member of the Young Turks team comes on, you all lose your shit. It is possible.
How could I not?
Well, it is possible to end on a more civilized manner and just accept
it's really difficult.
Well, you have different opinions, you know. That's why.
Okay, more civilized. This is what I hate about the West. Why don't we talk about this in a more civilized manner? I'm sorry, bro. All of you fucking Westerners and you're civilized. You need to be civilized. There's nothing civilized about genocide. There is nothing civilized about war. There is nothing civilized about talking about dead people. How can you calmly talk about dead children and sit in front of a fucking demon like this, a fucking ghoul like this, who doesn't feel bad for people getting slaughtered by the Israelis and by Americans, who pretends to care about 40,000 Iranian protesters killed? How do you keep your shit? How do you keep your shit in front of people that justify genocide? How do you maintain your... To me, this is the human reaction. You have to be pissed. You have to yell. You have to get angry. Otherwise, you're made of fucking stone. Why don't you act civilized when you talk about genocide and Israeli war crimes? I'm sorry. It fucking pisses me off.
On with different opinions, but we should never lose our basic sense of... We shouldn't lose our sense of civility when we debate things, because that way madness lies. Anyway, it's always good to have you. Thank you to my panel. I appreciate it. And to Elika, who apparently was tech issues. Well, joining me now is the Palestinian political leader, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti. Welcome back to...
That was fun. That was good. That was entertaining. You know, say what you will about Anna. Very problematic takes. Lost her shit when it came to the trans stuff, to the Venezuelan crime gangs, all that sort of thing. She drank the Kool-Aid. But anytime she talks about Palestine, Israel, Iran, Lebanon, they're pretty based, okay? Pretty based. Haley, good night. I'm about to end the stream as well. Thank you for joining, everybody. Haley, thank you so much for the gifted. Jim, thank you for the gifted. DG, thank you for the gifted as well. Thank you to everybody who sent in a super chat. Very much appreciate you all. Chris, thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed. Project Hail Mary, thank you for your WhatsApp message. I think it is going to do the trick and make me watch it. The fact that Chris told me that there's a lot of just people inside of a ship and close-ups and talking. Not a lot of like wide shots of space. I guess I can accept it. It still pains me, but I'm going to try not to think about it. Thank you to everybody. Tomorrow night, there should be a stream with Comrade Casey and James for Better Left Unsaid. Listen, we're the worst at planning. We try to plan, we text each other, and like no one answers. So there should be a stream tomorrow. Most likely, it's going to be very chill. Okay, I kind of want to do an old school stream and just like shit on H3 for a bit, and having Comrade Casey there and James. I think we could have a lot of fun just shitting on their Trisha Paytas episode and just seeing how petty and how much worse the show has become. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we're going to have a fun chill stream tomorrow. I hope so. Most likely we'll be there. If Comrade Casey and James can't join for any reason, I'll be back here solo. We'll have a good time. And I'll see you guys next week. A member stream happening next week. I promise, early next week, either Monday or Tuesday. Patreon video early next week. I promise you. And hopefully our first Lego stream is going to happen within the next 10 days to 2 weeks. Also, I'm getting the cash to donate to Nation Station. So there's going to be an IRL stream at Nation Station, an IRL volunteer stream. Whoa, what the fuck? There's going to be an IRL volunteer stream. There's going to be a lot of content coming. Okay. Very much appreciate y'all. We love you all. Thank you. Drax's posture check, everyone. That's right, posture. This is a good exercise for your neck that I just recently found out. All right, everybody. Love you all. And as always, do not